like how all our heads bobbed during the thing. That was good.
Yeah, it's like we're talking. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. So this is the Full 42, bunch of geeks talking about geek stuff, mainly board games, especially this episode, because we have Jeremy Howard with us. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming on.
Jeremy, why don't you tell everybody who already knows you, I'm sure.
Cheers. My name is Jeremy, and I love brown liquor. No. Everybody knows I love scotch. If you know me, you know I love scotch. But hey, from Man versus Meeple, I'm a content creator, most known for, I would say. And I do a lot of other stuff. I work for a publisher named Rawstone out of China. I help localize games and sign them to Chinese. So I go the other way around. General media promotion and different types of stuff like that. Of course, I still review stuff, do previews. I'm all over the place, man. So I'm in this hobby. I love this hobby. And it's all because we get to play with these toys, man. It's amazing.
You started with Jambalaya Plays Games, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yeah, I started with a blog, JambalayaPlaysGames.com. It is no longer, it is definitely gone. But yeah, I started with that, and about a year and a half or so in, I went to Gen Con 50, and I was just like, I got in my car, and I was just like, I'm gonna be a video content creator. I went all the way in, right? And then about a year later, I made it happen, and then boom, I just kind of worked my way through it. BGR, Board Game Revolution. I worked there for a while doing some promotion. And then when I was kind of in between, I found a home at MVM, and I've been there 3 years as of a couple days ago. 3 years.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. So it's been quite the journey. I like where I'm at, but I love the journey. I love journey for people. I like where we don't know what the end game is, but we definitely know, hey, like I'm on the right path. I feel like I'm on the right path, man. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling. Hey, Steven. Yeah. We have Corey watching, Alan, some regulars.
Ooh, there you
watching. Go. Yeah, well, welcome. Glad that you could make the time to come on our show.
Always make time for the peoples, man. I mean, we got to get together. I miss a lot of you. You know, we've been apart, and we have these conventions now, and more people are showing up, which is great. You know, I don't expect everybody to come. There's still threats of COVID and all kinds of stuff. We're not in the clear. And we have so many people together, which doesn't help it, right? And we have so many people that miss each other, that want to hug and touch each other, so that doesn't help either. But I can't help it. I'm a little selfish for the people that I care about. You know, I really want to. I want to see you. I want to hug you. I haven't seen you in forever. We're getting an opportunity to do that. We're getting an opportunity to see publishers that we haven't seen in years. You know, a lot of these foreign publishers are coming. I haven't seen some people, Board and Dice guys. I haven't seen anybody but one of their employees for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like some of my closest friends, 3 years. So that was cool. You know, that was cool. So this is just a cool year. This is a good year, comeback year.
Yeah, it felt good to be at Gen Con again with even though with all the restrictions and everything, to be able to see people that we haven't seen in what felt like forever.
Yeah, you just find out, I don't know. For me, it was just like, yeah, I love this. Like, that's kind of the thing. Like, I wouldn't, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't be there. Honestly, I just wouldn't. I was doing a lot of work and not a lot of gaming. But then I realized at the end, I actually forced myself. I was working so much during the day that I said, as soon as we get done, I'm going to play games. And the goal was to get to 5. And I think we played 7 games.
Wow.
So
wow, shot your goal.
I probably played more games than people who went to Gen Con to play games. Like I played 7 full games. So what can I say? Yeah, by the time we got done, I was like, did I play 5 games? And then we kind of added them up, and I was like, oh yeah, we played games. That's how crazy Gen Con was.
Of the 7 you played, which was your favorite?
The one that I just couldn't stop couldn't stop playing. I wanted to play it over and over again. Was Ready, Set, Bet.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Never played it.
It's ruckus. Like, oh man. Are we ready to just talk about games? I mean, I can go all night. Like, I can go all
You
night.
can tell us
But-
about that one if you're
I can
excited.
go.
I want to hear
I
it.
could go all night. Actually, the Dice Tower just reviewed it. It's by John D. Clare. It's definitely a different spin. What you're doing in that game is you're betting on horses. So it's real time. You got your horses lined up on a board, and you got one person that's just rolling a dice. They're rolling 2 dice, and then boom, they roll the 2 dice, and they're kind of resolving it as you go along, and they're calling out what the numbers are. And meanwhile, you got these chips that you're betting, and there's just chips with abilities on them. There's regular chips, and then there's different cards you can invest in, not just who's going to win, who's coming in second place, and all that stuff. But then you also have cards that'll be like 7th comes in last. The race will be decided by 3 or less spaces. And what's happening is there's an excitement to the game that just exists. Like, it's just naturally in there. There's something about like, and then like there's a part of the game where if 3 horses get across the red line, then you can't bet anymore. So it's like you're kind of waiting, decide who's going to come, and then once the die hits the same number twice, the horse moves twice instead of once. So you're like, oh my God, like, what do I do? Do I bet now? Do I, and I mean, I've put like this. I've seen when I played that game, the best side of it is like someone who's pretty much a hermit was the dice roller. And then they got excited as the dice roller. And they actually were like getting a little bit animated. I was like, that's the proof of concept right there. And then like for people who are not like, well, I'm not so fast, you could actually make it where you can just bet right away. You can just be like, I think 7's going to win. Of course, 7 and 11. But you're like, you can just put like, I'm putting on 7's going to win. Or I'm going to put 8. That's my favorite horse. So it's just like sports betting that way. But at the same time, you can kind of look at the odds and just be like, I'm going to put it on here. And people can still take the risk, but they can also lose money. And then there's special chips that are like doubles or, just all kinds of cool little things to make it gamery. What a game. I mean, just
that sounds fun.
Like, every time you play, there's like, there's just this ruckus. I love it. Like, I just love that.
Well, and it's funny because Chris pulled up some pictures and you saw the one person was standing at the table. And to me, that's always a sign. When people start to stand up at the table because they're excited,
you can't sit down. You actually can't sit down and play this game. There's just no way. Like, you're going to be in it. Like, and you're going to be sitting there with your chip. Like, am I going to do this? Is this 5? Yes. Okay, fine. It's nerve-wracking, but in a good way.
This must be what I saw you playing at the hotel that I was staying at. I saw you at one point playing with a bunch of people, and you were the only one that like stood up and started doing something. Like, you were very animated. I was on my way somewhere, so I couldn't see what you were playing, but I bet you that's what it was.
Yeah, it probably was me. But you just said me being animated. That could be any game.
Fair enough.
Yeah. A very exciting game of solitaire. I can make it very exciting. Okay. I played a cool game called Forsaken. It's coming to Kickstarter soon. That was pretty cool. And then Great Western Trail. I played that new Great Western Trail. That was pretty cool too. I just had a lot of little fun games that I got an opportunity to play. Pumpero, that's going to be a big Euro that's coming out. Oh my God. Oh, there's so many good games. Always. I could go forever. That's why I tell people I could go forever. Forsaken, coming. I think it's coming soon. It's gigantic. It's gigantic. So this is Game Trays. So Game Trays is coming out with their own line of games. So they have Mike Mahilsek and then they have Travis Chance. And they're 2 really good designers, a good designer, good developer. And they're basically making a Western Legends with storytelling in a big sandbox game, like in the post-apocalypse. And what you're looking at, you see those 3 boards? Those are 3 planets that you can travel to do quests and do little side deals and things like that. And then you can do faction stuff. But the cool part about this game is you see the little decks that are on the side. Each one of those are story decks, and you can flip over a card and it'll tell you a story. But that story can change to something that's on a different planet as a bounty, or it can just be your individual story, and it can put another card from a randomized deck, a specific card, and put it in one of the planet's decks. So you can go through a full story with that. With that, here's a good example. So I had a card of this robot that's like, hey, I'm your friend. Hey, do you want to follow me? Follow me. I got something to show you. And I was like, I'll follow you. So then I went down into this thing like iRobot. I went down there and there was like 10,000 of him.
Oh.
They were like, hey, you're the king. So they were like, all right, cool. So then they said, hey, go do this and then come back. So then when I went and I got the card back, they came back, and they were like, hey, and they had gone mad, but they had people's skin on their faces.
Oh my God.
What have you done? What have you done? Like.
So it's a family game, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a family game. So it's got really, the thing is that it would be just like any other run-of-the-mill type game to me if the story wasn't written right. It's comical. It's got the dark twist to it. And it even has like full story endings and things like that. So it's doing some different stuff that is way more involved on the narrative side versus just like, hey, we're gambling. Hey, we're doing the Western, the Western future apocalyptic stuff, which gives that game more oomph to it. And I had played it, a full game of it, and then I also had seen it in several times, and I was just like, oh, okay, this game can hold up. It can hold up. Most people are going to only play it like 2-3 times anyway. So, right?
Yeah, we do have short attention span. Let's see.
Right. I mean, it's like, oh man, this game's big and epic. Oh, this game's big and epic. Look what I got shipped today.
Yeah.
Is it campaign? Is it campaign style or?
No. Not at all. Not at all. Which that's why it's interesting. It's got a book, this little side book.
Yeah.
And you make choices off that card, and it'll tell you like, hey, this is what you're doing. So you're chaining stories. Mm-hmm. And then like it'll say, hey, because you made this choice, take this card and put it in the top 3 cards of this deck. So like you may experience the aftermath of what somebody did. So we even had one guy who had this bot that was like a service bot. And you sent him out somewhere, and he came back, and he was like, "I am the law." Like, so yeah, he had all these cannons and stuff. Like, it was kind of weird. It was kind of funny. He was like, "I am the law, so you have to fight me. You're bad. You guys are all bad, so then you got to fight them." And when you fight people, you put the dice down this, like Shogun, and like you put the dice down the little shoot thing. And whatever comes out, Yeah. And then you put that on there, and it's got like multipliers and different things like that. So that was really interesting how they use that. Nice. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Oh, Great Western Trail.
Yeah, Shannon's asking the new one. What's different from?
Okay. Excuse me. It's about 30% new. So what they did is they added these towns that you go to, and they added, so let's just say starting at the end of the board, basically when you're going into town, now you have little shortcuts, so you can dodge the outlaws and all that other stuff, right? So you got that part. Then you have this other gauge now where you have to be like in between a certain number and in between certain numbers to get further on the board. Now it's like a kind of a thing where you got to create a range. But they also have these boards now where you deliver to towns, and if you deliver a certain number, then you go and you actually gain like control of these different spots. They'll either give you points or something else. I can't remember. So it's points or money, I believe. And you're trying to get like northwest, east, south on these cards further and further out. So there's like another little kind of scoring thing to that. Like the thing is that it's not a must own.
Okay.
It's more like it's better, but not a must own. That's the best way to say it. like the gameplay is better to me than the Great Western Trail. I don't hold Great Western Trail as like all is holy, but I think it's a really good game. But it does make the gameplay better for me, at least, I think. And I would say, now that I'm thinking about it, 20% more, 20%.
Oh, okay.
It's just not that much. It's really just the end part. And that part there with the shortcuts, that's like game changing enough anyways. I wish it was a full on new, map and stuff like that, but whatever. It's I would say if you're a Great Western Trail, you're gonna buy it anyway. So what are we talking about here? But yeah, like if this is your first one, I would just say buy that one.
Okay.
If you have the original, you don't need to get the new one.
Well, let's go back one step, sir. Let's go back one step. So if you have the original game, do you need to buy the second edition? Debatable. All right, debatable. If you're a solo player like myself, or you didn't like the thematic choices that they made in the first one and they changed it, then you're definitely buying the second edition. Don't even think about it. It's fine. Just go with that. But if you don't own any of these things at all that we just talked about, I would buy this one. It's a standalone, works just fine. It's got some cool elements. I think that's what I think as someone who's not like over the moon with Great Western Trail.
Right.
So
good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, man. I had a man. You know what? I'm going to tell you about a game that nobody talks about. I'm going to tell you about a game that nobody talks about. It is called Giga Robo. Okay, Giga Robo. Now, this game is by Carvo Dynamo. It is basically a Rock'em. It's not Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but I call it Rock'em Sock'em Robots because it's like Pacific Rim. It's like like Matzing Kaiser, Z, that kind of stuff. Where you're gonna have like that kind of old school robots fighting in a city, but it's got this kind of cool card mechanisms of how it plays, how the cards play out. I love that you can kind of like afterburn your cards, kind of overextend yourself to overheat. You can even die and like get one big smash after you get destroyed and like detonate. Like you have so many cool things. You can literally throw people into buildings. You can jump off of buildings. You can do all kinds of stuff. Like there's like no skies. The sky's the limit, and it has like a kind of the big claim to fame with this game is it has like a really slick reaction system that people have to kind of play cards to keep kind of going back off of each other. And then you roll the dice. So it's like, like there's a little bit more of a card play element to this than other just move, roll the dice, and then you're good.
Are you talking about this?
Yeah, Giga Robo. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty slick, man. And the reason why I'm on it big time is because I was in the licensing mode for this game. But what I found is that not only is that one's cool right there, by the way. Just go back. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my God. I just love that kind of stuff. Anyway, this game is just so cool. Anyway, so yeah, I was excited about this because they're going to have kaijus coming. If they win and if they launch another Kickstarter, they're going to try to do kaijus, and then it'll be a cooperative game. Right now, it's just just smash the heck out of each other game. It's like Rampage, basically, except you're just fighting each other. But, I mean, if they get the kaijus going in this game, whoo!
The robots are really cool.
This is actually a really good sign of what gaming is. This game launched in like 2016, 17. It delivered in 2019. But the kicker here is that it delivered like right in the pandemic window. And when it was time to go to retail, the pandemic was in full stride and he had nowhere to sell it. So he had nowhere to sell it. He was like, there was no use of putting it on my website. Like, well, how were people going to know to go to my website? He's like, I ran out of money. I ran out of like money to promote. Like, he's like, I had all these games. And he's like, thankfully I survived. And, he has the booth and now he has the booth here. And at Gen Con, he shared a booth with Aegis, which is another awesome game with combining robots and stuff like that. If you ever want a Voltron experience, that's the type of game that is. It's awesome.
That's cool.
And they combine their booths together. And yeah, I mean, he got some sales out of that, man. Pretty cool,
Nice.
huh? You know?
Good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks well produced. That comes with the buildings and everything, like what we saw there. That's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. Foundations of Rome, as always, awesome. That was gone. I bought 2 copies that day. I wasn't playing around. I wasn't playing around.
You must have had a lot of room to bring stuff back with you if you bought 2 Foundations of Rome.
So I had my not my truck, but my SUV with me. So
Nice.
I was ready for anything. Ready for anything. Yeah.
That's a beast. But yeah, so we thought that we would today talk about game weights. When people, ask you like the weight of a certain game, how do we define that? Like what criteria do you use to determine the weight of a game?
Okay.
So that's what we want to talk about today as well. And I think Chris also prepared a list for us that we'll rate afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could even start it actually, because I was just thinking that what I want to do is BGG, the website, it rates. Well, it doesn't rate. People rate the weight of a game, right? And so it gives you the average. I think it's between 1 and 5. Okay. And so what I'd like to do is show pictures of games and ask all 3 of you what you think the weight of it is, and then I'll give a point to whoever's closest. Okay. Just to make it a quick little game, right? But the reason why I want to do it first before the discussion is because I know we're probably going to discuss some of these games that are on this list, and then so I don't want to take that just yet.
Okay.
Good point.
So
we'll save the lightning round then for later too, because I want to learn a little bit more about Jeremy.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
we should do the lightning round. Thanks, Mike. I would totally
do that first. Let's do that first. You could tell we're so professional and extremely
whatever. What are you talking about? This is great.
Oh yeah. We actually started pretty on time today, so that was already an improvement.
Strong.
We're only like a minute late.
Mm-hmm. Only a minute. Yeah.
I was 25 minutes late to my own stream, so just don't feel bad at all. I decided. So yesterday I played Endless Winter 3 times.
Wow.
And I messed up on the first stream. I got caught on 2 rules, and I didn't know how to play them at all. So I was live streaming, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
Wow.
Oh no.
So then I went. Here's the joke here. So I get done with the stream. I'm losing my mind. I'm like so angry at myself for just biffing this on screen. It's one thing to make errors you just make errors, but it's another thing to be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then it happened twice in the same stream. So I just kept moving forward. I was just like, I give up. So I mean, like, what do you do with that, right? Yeah. So I go upstairs and I read. It's the second rule for setup. Oh. I just like completely blanked on the second rule for setup.
That's funny.
I was just like, oh my God. So what I did was something I've never done. I deleted that stream and I streamed it again at 10 o'clock at night. So and it was like quiet. Everybody, people showed up. It was just kind of like, hey, let's just talk. And that's how I do it anyway. I just talk, man. We just talk. We play a game, win or lose.
Right.
Whatever, man. We're just here to have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Yep.
Endless Winter, though. Very good game. Very, very good game.
All right. So we're going to run through the lightning round real quick. Oh, what was that? Katia?
I said I look forward to playing it. I backed it, and I'm anxiously awaiting.
You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
Yep. So I'm going to, we've done this a few times. So what happens is I'm going to remove the cover here like this, and you'll say which one you choose, and we'll follow down a tree. Eventually, you're going to get to the bottom, and it's going to tell you what what's it called? Like a fictional character you're most like. It's very scientific, infallible, in fact.
Yeah.
So, fantasy or sci-fi?
Gonna go with sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Han Solo or Indiana Jones?
Weirdly enough, I'm just gonna go with Indiana Jones because that just seems strange. All right, let's do it.
Ninjas or pirates?
No, ninjas every time.
Ninjas every time.
That was quick. That was quick too.
Sean Connery or Daniel Craig?
Oh Jesus, what is this? Come on, come on. What is this? Katia, what are you doing? Are you trying to jam me up here?
Usually it's the Han Solo Indiana Jones one.
Yeah, you trying to jam me up here, man? Oh, whoa. As a James Bond guy, this is tough. I'm just gonna get like I can't even say it. I'm just gonna go with Daniel Craig. Why not? Let's play it.
All right, so you hate Sean Connery. Got it.
I know.
Have neon green skin or hot pink skin?
I like the neon green. Let's go with it.
Have tongues for toes or a toe for a tongue?
Weird question.
Toes.
Which one was that?
Toe for tongue. Sorry.
Toe for a tongue. I like how you didn't even question that.
Yeah.
Be able to speak to dogs or cats?
Gotta speak to cats because I don't trust them.
Good point.
Good reason.
I have two. I love them and I don't trust them.
No, they don't care about you like you care about them.
Detect any lie you hear or get away with any lie?
I'm gonna go with get away with any lie because whatever. It sounds fun.
Huge twirly mustache or long ZZ Top beard?
I'm gonna go with the beard because I'm wise and now I can lie. So I look wise and now I can lie. So
And he'll just
lean into it. Lean into it.
Confused by everything or you confuse everyone?
I confuse everybody.
Yeah.
All right. That means
They're like, he's a man of mystery. Like, no, he isn't. This guy's a BSer.
remember this is scientifically
it's
proven.
completely accurate.
You're Ruby Rod from the
That's awesome. You're the first person to pick him, actually.
Ruby
You're the first person to land there. Awesome.
That's funny.
Come on.
That's all I can think about. Oh my
Ruby
god.
Rod. How on point was that?
Yeah.
That was great.
Oh my god.
They're all Ruby Rod at the bottom. That's the no, I'm kidding.
That of all the people that we've done that with, that was the first time he's come up. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I did
Wow.
not know he was in there. I remember like some of the other choices, but he's never.
Wow.
So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
there's a few that still haven't been revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we ran that a dozen times at the gathering, and there were a couple repeats, but we had a bunch of different answers, but it was never all the way that way.
Showed up. That's awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, we didn't get to. There's a lot of questions in there, and one of them is: would you rather be slimy or sticky?
Ooh. Slimy or sticky?
It's a hard one.
Yeah, I want to be sticky. I want people to be a little uncomfortable there, a little bit on like, what the heck? What is this? What is he? But I always want to shake your hand and hug still.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reactions would be priceless.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to show. We're not timed on this or anything like that. This
No.
But and you can discuss it if you want, but I'll ask you out of different order, basically, to give me a rating between 1 and 5. 5 being the heaviest. 4. Let's start with 5 tribes. Let's start with Katia since it's her favorite game.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Or are we doing 0.5s?
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, you want to do points.
We
So it'd
wanna
be
do
like 1.56 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with I feel like I should know that, but I don't. So.
That's why I put it up there.
Are we writing it down or are we saying it out loud? What are we doing?
Oh, do you want to write it down or do you? Yeah. Do you guys have something to write with?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
We can do that. Yeah. That way we don't have to go in different orders. We're prepared. We're prepared. Steven, you always win.
We're prepared as Michael is looking for something to write on.
I usually have the dry erase board from the monster game, but I don't know where the hell I put it.
Try not to look at the chat because they're going to do some guessing too.
You should always have monstrosity available so you can always draw something.
It's always right here. I got it right there. But I knew I had one.
There you go. Whoa, that's
right here.
It's right there.
The board I use is the monstrosity board.
Yep, monstrosity you should always have available.
Yeah.
Okay, I got my answer.
Okay.
All right, everybody got it written down?
Yeah.
All right, chat's starting to give theirs. All right, Katia?
I wrote 3.3.
Ooh, no way.
Oh, wow. I have... Oh, wow. Oh, we're close then. I have 2.75. How about that? Whoa, little back in there on that one.
Wow.
Let's go.
Ooh, the answer is we had 2.75 from Kabuki Kid as well, and 2.6 in here. So the answer is 2.85.
Yeah!
Jeremy, the first victory point.
Well done, well done.
I dance even when I take weak actions in board games. Woo!
Next one. Another one of Katia's favorites.
No.
You're not allowed to give it a negative rating.
We're not talking about enjoyment here. We're talking about
just wait. Just wait.
Okay. So this is an interesting discussion about weight right here. This game right here. Are we going to talk about weight? How we determine?
Oh, sure. We're definitely going to talk about it after.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with. Well, let's say this. Then we went right there. I'm going to go with one. All right. Here we go.
Did Donnie give it a 0.2? Wow.
Wait, there is no 0, right? It starts at 1?
Yeah, I think it starts at 1.
Okay.
Well, no, you can actually put 0 point something.
I will give you a hint with this game.
What?
There is a lot of math in this game.
There is.
I'm sticking to 1.1. There's
a lot of math in this game.
All right, so we got 1.1 from Katia, 1.42 from Michael.
1.6.
1.6. The answer is 1.18.
Oh, yeah.
That's Katia right there. Yeah, I think there's a lot of I think a lot of this is really just feels, right?
Yeah.
Also, the users of BGG probably tend to go a little heavier, in my opinion.
Yes. They are pretty much gatekeeping the threes. Well, right. Actually, if you just play it, it'll be easy.
Now, I should say there's going to be a few games on here where one or two of you haven't played. I tried to put one at least on there so at least one of you have played, but everybody should have heard of some of these. I'm sure all of us have.
My discussion afterwards will explain why I rated 5 tribes at 3.3.
All right. I got mine. I know this. I
know I'm close.
I know I'm close.
Art Nova, what we got?
Man.
Hold on. I'm going 2 numbers after my decimal.
Oh my gosh.
4.55.
Oh, come on. 3.82. There's no room.
What do you got, Jeremy?
I got 3.8. There's no room. That's funny.
Oh, he totally prices right pointed you.
Funny enough, though, the answer is 3.71.
Oh,
Mickey and Jeremy.
Ding.
Really? I haven't played it, but I thought it was way heavier than that.
Okay. You know what? It's borderline. it's borderline either way. I went with higher. I think it's probably lower than that 3.7 ish range. It seems about right. The use. Well, we'll talk about this. But that's a really good example to talk about. Actually, that's a very good example to talk about.
All right, next one. Katia.
Ooh.
Oh, I got this one. I'm dead on in this one. I'm dead on. Trust.
Mike, are you trying to help the guest win? You're not trying very hard? Is that what's going on?
I mean, I'm putting in what I think. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Okay.
All right, what we got?
1.7.
I got 2.2.
2.2, 1.7, 2.71.
Way high.
2.71, you're way too high.
Too high.
The answer is 1.86.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That was awful.
Wow.
I'm surprised it's in the ones. I would have thought 2.1.
It's so simple. It's beautifully.
It is, but there's real strategy in the game. That's
actually, once again, real strategy and math.
Yep.
Real strategy and math.
Yep.
But it's such an easy, it's an easy teach. So for me, that brings it down. But Gallerist.
Chris, what are you doing?
Here's a funny story.
What are you doing? You sniping me?
I tried to learn the Gallerist. I was explained the game, watched a video, then had it on the table, had it explained again, and I still haven't played it because I could not remember rules. That game,
it's a doozy.
It's gonna be yeah.
It used to be in my top 10. I love that game.
It sounds fun if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I guarantee it is. If you ever figure it out, you'll enjoy it.
Quote on the back of the box. It's fun if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
What do we got?
4.12.
Oh wow, you guys went high.
4.20.
I'm going 3.6.
3.6. Mike's finally on the board. It's 4.27.
Wow. 4 too. Wow. That's pretty heavy, man.
I'm is heavy because I think it's one of their lightest ones. So like.
Oh. Okay.
Like
I'm actually kind of curious if rules. I wonder if rules learning goes into some of that.
Yeah, I think
it has to.
Yeah, there's a couple little criteria that I have, and I think at some point it's just really like you said, it's not just if it's a medium weight game, it's also like, can people play this game? Like how heavy, like Kanban. I wonder what that is versus Kanban.
Right.
And Kanban has more complexity in rules, but it's easier to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier to play. Like I don't know what it is. Like to me, the Gallerist is easier. It's just like it just depends on that person because people say, well, no, the Gallerist is heavy. I'm like, they both feel the same to me. It's just that Kanban is so easy to play. So it's crazy when somebody plays you Kanban. It has such a flow to it.
Yeah.
There are some games like that where like if it's intuitive.
Yeah.
In the gameplay, it's like, there might be a lot of rules, but if it makes sense and like you say, if it flows well, then I think that will bring the complexity down. But I remember that was one of the things with the Gallerist trying to learn it is there were so many things you could do and parts to it, and it didn't have that flow. And I would have probably needed to constantly have the rule book beside me and keep going back to it.
Then also think about it like this. Like for me, I played that back when I was first coming into board games. So I had all my mind and my time to focus on this game. And then like I fixated on the game. So I was like, that's like Feast for Odin. When I first played Feast for Odin, I played it for 2 months straight. So like I understood how to play Feast for Odin, like same thing with the Gallerist. I probably played it 6 weeks straight. But the thing is that I also going in didn't have the mindset of what the Gallerist is doing. Like, I'm promoting an artist. I'm helping them rise. I'm getting contracts for them, promoting them. And then I'm trying to bring all these people to see their paintings. So they buy. Oh, okay. But I didn't get all that because I don't know the theme. Like I don't relate to the theme. Mm-hmm. So if I understand how theme incorporates certain things, but that also affects people's score. It's just a factor. of interest. You know, the rules was the rule book bad, so that makes it harder to play. Was the rule book good, so it's easier to people? You know, that kind of thing. Those are factors that go into rating, which is, you know, pretty interesting. But I try to just stick with like gameplay wise. Oh my God, I know this.
What we got next? Caverna.
This is tough.
I want to talk about Steven's comment once we start discussing stuff, because that's an interesting thing there too. But no.
I'm doing it again.
I got this one.
I don't know.
I got this one.
Before anybody reveals, before anybody reveals, I think it hasn't happened yet. So if anybody gets it dead on, I'm going to give them 2 points.
I'm going to get it dead on right now.
All right. Let's see what we got.
He knows this.
3.4.
Oh, is it? Because I was close at 3.6.
3.62, 4.20. Nobody's dead on. 3.78.
Oh,
Katia gets that point there.
I get that.
You know what? I would rate it a 3-4. Once again, that's a very easy game to play.
It is. That one is. It is intuitive. Like
looking at when you look at the tiles, and there's not like an insane amount of iconography either. Like, I mean, the book has really good explanations of what the things are.
You have your phases.
I think you only have to play one round of Caverna to know how to play Caverna.
Right.
I think Steven had the closest in the chat. All right, next one.
Kabuki, you're funny. That's Donkey. Looks great. That's funny. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah, sandbox game.
Wait, no. It's Great Western Trail I haven't played. I've played this one. That's the one where there's a map and you go to different spots. Okay. I have played that.
I thought a sandbox one would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this has got a lot of sandbox to it. Okay. It's got a lot of sandbox to it. Here we go.
All right. Reveal them. 3.2, 3.15, 2.89.
I should have went with 1. Price is Right rules.
You should have, because the answer is 2.81.
That's you know what? I should have went the other way. I was gonna go 2.75.
I still get the point.
You still get the point, but that would have been dead on.
That would have been
I actually wonder if the fact that you have to learn poker, if you don't already know poker, goes into it. Because when I teach it, sometimes I run into people who don't know the hands of poker. Yeah.
But there's definitely in their game that definitely. Oh wow, Azul, huh? So okay, so abstracts are very tricky.
Yeah,
they're very tricky because people tend to take abstract strategy lightly.
Yep.
But then I would challenge them to play Azul without the patterns on there, which they never do.
Dan was really close with the last one.
I'm gonna go with this because I see how people think here. Let's see. All right.
I'm going with the price of gas here.
Oh wow.
This is the first Azul being asked which one it is.
Oh come on, oh gosh.
Hold on, Jeremy. You and I are on.
Hold on, I missed it. What was it? What was it?
They were close.
1.2.
2.2. Mike, what you have?
I had 2.34.
The answer is 2.81.
Oh wow. Okay, so respectable on Azul.
Wow.
Very respectable,
right?
Because you have the open board, it's game on. Like we're not playing around anymore. Like if you play Azul, and I'm an abstract guy, you flip that board over. Hey man, I'm about to take it. I'm about to drink my coffee slow. Here we go.
I've never played it on the blank side.
Hold on, flag on the plate. Hold on, I messed up.
Okay,
I was looking at the wrong rating.
Oh,
what was everybody's rate?
1.69.
You have one job.
2.2. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah. The answer is 1.76.
That's okay. That's actually BS. That's BS.
So I got to take Mike's point away and give it to Katia.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
So I was still looking at the rating for Western Trail.
Hard pass.
I actually agreed with it whenever it was 2 point something. Yeah. All right. Next one.
Oh, I've never played that.
Oh, man.
That's going to be a pure guess.
All right.
Is that the one where you can die really, really fast in the game? Depending, no.
Kind of depends on the scenario.
Okay. I have no idea how it plays aside.
It hasn't happened to me often. Yeah, it's the problem. Well, not the problem, but it's such a crazy scenario setup. Like you never know when things are going to trigger that you could have weird things happen like that.
All right, here's my guess.
All right.
Ooh. 2.1, 2.45, 2.34. Hold on, got to do math. You guys are close. Oh, the answer is 2.39.
Oh, I'm right there, baby.
You're 6 away?
Yep.
Mike is 5 away.
Oh, no!
On the other side.
You mean, oh, no. I'm supporting you guys when you win. Shit. Woo. That was a total guess, because that could have gone either way. The game is not complicated, right? I mean,
it's not complicated, but by the way, they are apparently the new version.
Kabuki was right there.
They're fixing some of the broken stuff because I didn't know the game was broken. Okay,
yeah.
But it's not really broken. The thing is like you never know when the scenarios are going to trigger and what the state of the game is going to be. So some scenarios really could just kind of fall flat depending on what's happening.
Oh, okay.
But it's not broken. It's just, they don't always work out.
It's a little
the gaming experience a little less.
I feel like 10-15% of the time that's going to happen.
It's a little old school, right? It's just a little old school.
It is.
That's it. Most people aren't used to that cutthroatness or like, yep, it's over. You're like, whoa, whoa, yeah, it's over.
Ooh. No, I've never played that one either.
Stone Age, the game that introduces you to games. Games.
I bypassed this one, so
wow.
Yeah.
I still haven't played that.
I went old school on this one.
Stone Age is a game that you should own that I don't own. I'm going to add that to one of the best games I don't own.
Well, this has it as 2008.
Yeah.
Came out in 2008.
I don't think it's that high.
No, I don't think it's that high.
I'm going to put that down.
Oh, Matt Paquette has joined us as well.
All right.
Matt Paquette.
Hey, Matt.
Nobody's got it in chat. All right, what do we got? 2.2, 2.35, 1.69. The answer is 2.47. Another one.
Wow. Wow.
Whew.
I didn't think it was up there.
Yeah, I know. That was a little higher than I thought. Yeah.
Well,
I wonder.
Well, is this okay? Would you rate Viticulture higher than this?
I've never played that either.
Yes,
I would.
See, to me, I think they're about the same.
It's very close, but I would put Viticulture.
Very close. That's what I like. That's where I'm going to gauge it. I'm like, well, it's just right there. But I would use Stone Age to teach people games. Like, okay, we played a couple fun games. Now it's time for like game night. I'm going to bring you to game night. Let's play a game. Stone Age would be that game. It's a good game to like introduce people.
Yep.
They're a little bit more advanced. You think they are more advanced, and you give them Viticulture.
I am looking at the right one this time.
Thanks.
It's good to check me. All right, next one.
But wait, so Viticulture is where the hell is it? 2.9. They have it as a 2.93.
I guess with the with the expansion with Tuscany, but no.
Yeah, that's
like
hard.
Base game, no way.
Right.
You get off of BGG, Mike.
I've just looked it up because I wanted to know.
This is
Star
tough.
Realms.
This is tough.
I've played the Hero Realms, but like even that, I don't know what I would rate that as.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with. Ooh, this is tough.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
All right. I'm probably low on this.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm like weirdly. I'm in a weird state right here. Mike's gonna fuck it up for me though. Here we go.
1.88. What do you got? 1.6, 2.22.
I think I got this. I think it's a 1.7. No, I'm not
1.93.
Oh, come on.
Another one for Katia.
Oh my goodness.
Oof. Only 5 away on that one. Ooh, that's a close one.
Oh, that was close. Well done, Tim.
All right, next one.
Dixit.
Ooh.
Throwing some curveballs here.
Ugh.
Oh, man.
I don't know what the actual rules are aside from like trying to guess things based on the image.
Yeah. All right. I think
And
I'm
a clue
good.
that's given.
That is rough, though, right? Like, that's not a...
That's a tough one. That's at the bottom of the barrel.
Okay.
All right, what we got? 1.18, 1.1, 1.42. Answer is 1.21.
Ooh, so I take it with the 1.8.
You guys gotta fight a little harder against her here. She's running away with it.
What does she got?
She has 8. And Jeremy, you have 2, and Mike, you have 2.
Yes.
I have 2? I thought I only had 1.
I got 2.
Sweet.
Doubled what you thought you had in mind.
Totally happy with 2.
Yeah, it was again so close. 1.21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next.
Oh.
Never played that either.
So base Grand Austria Hotel. All right.
Is that a worker placement?
Dice.
Yeah.
Dice placement?
Yeah. Dice are rolled, and then you choose an action based on those dice. Oh, I accidentally got rid of it. Hold on. I have to bring it back up.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What we got?
All right. I got 3.2.
2.42.
You fucking kidding me.
Somebody got really close.
Oh
3.22.
Yeah, buddy. I told you. Let's go.
Wow.
Well
so
done.
Close.
Wow.
Kabuki got pretty close there.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of iconography, different cards with different abilities.
Mm-hmm.
You also have your little kind of, you got to have your columns set up so there's different decisions on there. There's multi-boards, multi-board decisions.
Yeah. It's actually really good. Yeah.
It's a really good game, man. I actually played it for the first time this year, and I immediately sought out the Let's Walt. I have the big box here with everything. I paid a grip for it, and I also got scammed for it as well. So I lost $175.
Oh no!
But yeah, I got scammed for it, and then I ended up actually finding it, and somebody was kind enough to sell it to me for actually what they backed it for, which was really cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was really cool.
All right, so the next one.
Oh, I love this game.
Okay, I think I know exactly what this is. Can I get 3 points if I know exactly what this is?
I got 2 points for you if you get it exact.
I think I got this exactly right.
Oh,
this again.
I think that might be too high.
All right, everybody ready?
Yeah, I'm going with a fun 2.22. 2.22.
285, 269. I got to do math now.
1.
The answer is 2.46.
Whoa.
Oh, so it's between
really?
Jeremy and I.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. No, Katia has it.
By 24. And what'd you put, Mike?
No, it was
I was
Jeremy.
way low.
Oh, yeah, you're off. Yep, Katia has it.
What was Jeremy at?
285.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just a little high.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just checking to see if anybody got right on.
My
Actually, everybody was kind of around 2.6, 2.65, it looks like.
My original guess was 2.42
Well,
because I wanted to have the full 42 in there, and then I thought that was too high.
I stuck with my confidence, and I was going to say 265. So I feel like I looked at it before. I feel like I looked at it before, and I was like, "Oh, I think I know exactly what it is." So
I bet you it used to be higher, and over the years, it's kind of
it just went down. Yeah.
Deus.
Oh, I love this game.
You ever played this, Jeremy?
I have not, Chris.
So good.
Yeah. You should definitely check it out. It is an amazing game that is overlooked quite a bit. It's a engine builder.
Oh, well, that's me right there. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go look it up on BGG, and then I'll come back. And
yeah, I can't give you the 2 points if you get it dead on that.
I'm going to go at this. I'm going to take a blind stab. Here we go. Engine building is a thing.
All right, what you got, Mike? 2.42. Jeremy does 2.3 and 3.11. The answer is 2.84.
Jesus.
Wow.
I think that's Katia again.
Oh my God! What is she? Double digits? Turn the lights off.
She just hit 10. Yeah. Let's see. Next one.
Splendor.
Here's a little bit of a classic. I guess it's kind of a classic at this point.
I think so.
It is a classic.
If it's after past 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, classic. Definitely classic. Azul is our modern classic. So I think this Splendor is the other one that was before that. Yeah, I think now we can just put that in there.
You know what was funny is today actually I was thinking how people, when you tell them you play board games, they're like, oh, like Monopoly. I thought we have got to be getting close to the point where people will say, oh, you mean like Ticket to Ride?
Yeah, like Ticket to Ride, or like
just a little
bit. Like Carcassonne, like Carcassonne.
Yeah.
You know, like
that. Yeah. I would be so excited if somebody said, "Oh, like Carcassonne." Hell yeah, like Carcassonne. Yeah.
Yeah, my family plays Carcassonne. I think Cascadia might be one too.
Oh, that someday could definitely.
I think Cascadia might stand the test of time.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, what do we got for scores? 1.69. 2.4, 2.14.
God, I want to take it back so bad. I want to put 1.8. Oh my God, let's go.
Oh, if you had 1.79 is the answer.
Ooh.
I want to put 1.8.
Matt almost had it dead on, but that's another point for Katia. Katia, what are you doing?
Kicking ass and taking names.
I guess so.
I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe like
there's
what I'm wondering is like my criteria list that
there's still chance, guys.
After this, I'm wondering if people rate the same way I do. Like I don't know. I'm seeing some. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, well, let's
go with something new. Ish.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
Dude. Well, if you've been watching our top 20, top 50, you may have noticed that this game is on there. I'm going to go with this. All right. Interesting game to rate, too, by the way. Very interesting game to rate. Games where the meta, how do you rate tension in a game?
Right.
Right.
Yep. This one
It's
has
like,
it.
Yep.
You know, like how do you rate Tammany Hall? Like how do you rate Tammany Hall? Like there's a lot that jumps off that board, you know? Like how do you rate anger?
All right, what we got a scored? 2.75, 2.6, 3.5.
Whoa! What game are you playing?
There's a lot to this, I find, but
we have someone in the chat that got it exactly 3.
Oh, look at you, babe.
3.00.
Well, it's not me this time.
No,
I think
was that Mike? Yep. Mike, you're now tied with Jeremy.
I feel like I could write down 3 numbers and just hold it up for every question, and I have an equal shot at getting any one of them to come through.
I was on a streak, man. You broke it.
Sorry. I had to tie you. I got 3 with you now.
All right, next one.
Although I don't think combined, you and I are going to take her down. So
yeah,
I love this game so much.
Yeah, it's been a while for me on this one. You know, I thought Istanbul was good. Weirdly enough, I know people don't like it. I like the dice game.
I like the dice game too.
Yeah, I like the dice game.
I like them both.
We used to play it at lunch, and it was just a quick little game. It was I like that one.
I would recommend that one. I agree.
Yeah, I would recommend it too. I'm gonna go with
this would be.
All right, I'm learning from you guys. I'm gonna do 2 digits, 3 digits now. Y'all get a little wild here. I need my extras.
You need the extra. Yep.
I need the extras. There we go.
All right. 2.24.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
Answer is 2.59.
Whoa, I'm here.
Is that it?
What did you have?
She's 13 away.
Oh, no.
She's 13 away. You're 19 away, right? Did you have 2.4?
I have 4.5.
Oh, 4.5. Is that 14 away?
Yeah.
And she's 13 away?
Oh, get out.
Oh.
Log off.
Woo.
Log off.
That is tough.
That extra decimal, like that extra number, though, almost saves you right there.
This show is going off the rails.
Oh.
Cut her, Mike. Cut her, Mike.
How about this one?
Oh, shit. I've never played this.
This is a great entry game, especially because it's real easy to say, oh, you know Yahtzee, right? And then you just step in one more rule or two.
Yep. The power version is the one I had. That was fun, man. That's a nice little wrinkle to the game. I kept that when I got rid of the King of Tokyo. I'm gonna go with
Oh, I have no idea.
So this goes into the discussion of right here, with the ones and 1.0, like the 1.0 range, because this is to me, this is a prime example of what the 1 point range is right here.
1.3, 1.65.
Oh, Michael, damn it!
I got it, baby. I got it. Don't worry.
1.7. The answer is 1.49.
Yeah, I got it.
So that's 19 away, right?
19. Oh, no.
And what you have, Mike?
1.65.
No, yeah.
So that's 16 away.
Oh.
These are tight. Mike's got that point right there.
That's funny because I had 169 down, and I was like, I'm gonna go 5 instead.
I think let me see, somebody had one. Oh yeah. Kabuki
so that game that game, perfect example of like, so hungry hippos, you just slap, you slap the board, right? Mm-hmm. Mousetrap, roll the dice and move. This game says, all right, you get to make a choice with those dice. Like you get to make a choice to keep going with your dice. You get to make a choice with the dice,
right?
Several times. Mm-hmm. And are you going in or are you going out? So now we're just introducing like mild strategy. And that right there is like the perfect definition of a 1.0 game. Like,
yeah, but then you throw in the cards, though, right? Like, not
right?
only
You throw
your
the
choice
cards.
to take over the city, the cards kind of ramp it up.
So
just to let you know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was going to say, just to let you know, some of the other ratings. I looked up Hungry Hippos, and the weight is rated as 1.07.
Yeah, it's a 1. That is the perfect definition of a 1.0 game. Smack.
All right, so we did one. We got to do the other.
Oh,
ooh, hey, how about that?
I forget what I put for Dune.
Fuck.
So if you're watching our top 50, you will know where this one is as well.
Nice.
Kind of like deck builders a lot.
Good genre.
I'm probably high. Hold on. That was probably a little ambitious.
3.8, Katia. That's
I actually like the way this one deck builds more than Dune.
I do too. But that's a conversation we can have.
3.22, 2.65, 3.15. The answer is 2.88. I think Jeremy finally got one. Yeah. Is that Jeremy?
Yeah. So with that game, I think the reason why it's more of a deck building game because it's free. It's free. We're just building decks. Like we are just building decks. Yeah. Whereas like with Dune, you are making choices, preparing for something. Yeah. Like you're preparing for an event. So the choices of our cards even more are important or not to you are based on the what's out there, but also like you could just really just play it as the worker placement part and just really focus on the resources. So it's more of a resource game than a resource and worker placement game than it is really a deck builder game. But it's still there. It's still there. So
yeah, in Dune, I think there's a bit more long-term planning than in Lost Ruins.
Yeah, like Arnak is like really preparing for that third and fourth and fifth round where you have a deck that's going to keep you going and keep you moving.
Good point.
Yeah, it's about movement.
All right, so the next one I had to throw in there just because I'm always proud of being a part of that.
Oh, love this game. God, I love this game.
Game of the year 2 years ago for me there.
I remember that.
Yeah. It's been a while, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, so I'm going to go with be very interesting to see what this is rated.
Yeah, this time I'm going for it.
All right, here we go. I'm going to go.
With my previous guess is now.
I'm not losing. I'm not losing this one, damn it.
3.
Oh, yeah. I
3.42. 3.15. I got to do a little math. No, it's pretty quick, actually. The answer is 3.24, giving Mike another point.
Damn it.
3 point. I'm actually more with you. I think it's a little higher than that. I think it's easy to play, but there's better strategy.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in this game, and to take it lighter would be a disservice to it because every monster has its own wrinkle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You depending on what little modules you're adding in there, how you're just building your squad. There's 16 different squads. I just find that interesting. I wonder, can you look up Manhattan Project Energy Empire?
Oh, another one of Luke's, huh?
Yeah. So, because it's kind of like the genesis of this, design.
Yep. That is 3.05.
Okay. Yeah. I would say that's about right. Because with the expansion, it takes it up to about 3.2, 3.3. Okay. Yeah.
Although
that's consistent.
Cryo's pretty close. Cryo's pretty close to it too, and it's only 2.72.
No, Cryo is like the baby of it all.
Right.
Like you can definitely tell that Cryo was like the baby. And because Cryo is meant to be played in an hour. And it really just has like the basic of the mechanic. But you can clearly tell that game was buried for years. It was just buried because it's not as good as the other ones. Just not. I don't like cryo, is what I'm saying.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's okay. Not every game hits, the same way.
He's one of my favorite designers. It's just that like that one out of that design stuff is just one I'm just like, yeah, he missed me with that one.
I think had it come out before Dwellings, which is funny because it was made before Dwellings. I think if it come out before Dwellings, I would have liked it more. But because I was comparing it to Dwellings, it just didn't stack up as much, right? It's still great.
I was gonna say I can't remember when he said he designed it, but it was sitting around forever.
Yeah, I know that they signed it and they kind of held on to it. That happens. I mean,
it happens. It happens.
All right.
Have you played Dice Realms?
No,
I haven't played Dice Realms.
If you play Dice Realms, I think immediately after you get done, you'll be like, if this game came out back when it was first promoted in like 2017, it would be awesome. But if that game actually in 2017, if that game had came out 5 years before that, it would have probably been genius. Whoa. But when you play it now, it is so dated. It is so past. It's just so past. Like it's just like, oh God, like it just missed the ball. And I paid $130 to find that out, and it really hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
It hurt
me. The sound bases and Dwellings, they don't add to the complexity, but they do add to the fun.
You can't have the game without them. Okay.
Like, once you have them,
Once you have them, you gotta do it.
Once you have them, you just like, am I kidding? Who am I kidding here? What am I doing right now? Like I'm enjoying this. I'm putting them down just to hear the sound. Like,
yeah.
No strategy, just putting them in the game, just because.
Next one, Concordia.
Oh, this is deeper.
Well, I'm assuming that's the part when you're doing these BGG ratings. I think sometimes people are throwing in the maps, like certain, like expansions and maps. But I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm right. You guys can put your pens in. Here we go.
You think so?
Oh, no so.
Oh, I know so.
No so. Ooh,
2.91.
You boxed me in.
2.63.
Oh,
3.3.
Boxed me in.
What is it?
3.01 gives Katia another point.
Damn. Too high.
You might not be catchable at this point.
Oh wait, what are we going to?
Yeah.
There's 30 of these, and that was number 22.
Oh, okay. We're almost there. This is fun though. I love this.
Well, we just got to get a couple dead on, and then we'll get 2 points for each one.
There you go.
Hey, you get some dead on ones. Yeah.
You should just start doing that.
All right, so Steven, Donnie, Kabuki Kid, just send me and Jeremy the right answers here.
Yeah, literally, yes.
All right, next.
Tim from Board Game Rundown.
Oh wow! Now, Raccoon Tycoon sells a crap ton. I think this game is another perfect family game. I think if you are a board game playing family, this is a great game. If you're a game night game family and you're just like game night game folks, you should get Lizard Wizard. It adds so much more to the game that you were looking for outside of Raccoon Tycoon, because Raccoon Tycoon can be like an auction fest, and this one is not that. Lizard Wizard is not that. It's a lot more resource Euro-y type game, and it also has this kind of cool little pressure luck mechanic. It's also got the auction stuff. So I really appreciate this design quite a bit.
The pressure luck mechanism in the Lizard Wizard thing kind of failed for me. But I only played it once, and I wanted to go back to it again. But
I have yet to play this one. It's been sitting on my shelf, but I used the crap out of those components.
It's solid.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yep.
It's solid.
All right, what we got?
I have no idea. So
1.68, 2.47, 2.24.
I'm probably too low.
I think you got it.
It's got to be the closest one because it's 2.09.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike, you got it.
All right, I'll take it.
Nice. Yeah,
I think I went to it.
I think that's about right for it. I would have guessed probably 1.9 to 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I went a little too high on it, but I have the expansion. That's probably why. And it's not high either.
Next.
That's how I feel. Yeah. Ooh, I love this game so much. It's a great game.
It is.
You know what? I think Kaman is burying this game, and I feel like somebody needs to snag it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
and I also always liked the artwork. I don't know why people hated it.
The artwork on the cards. Okay, so the artwork is a little bit kind of muted and a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little muted.
Yeah, I think people wanted it to be like Magic, and it wasn't. I don't know. Yeah. I like the style.
The cards are flimsy too.
But the cover is very muddled. Like you look at it and you can't even tell what's happening.
This game.
I think the artwork is good. I think the graphic design is bad. Like if you look at the board is boring.
If you told me that this game was coming back to Kickstarter with revised more factions and new art, you would lose your shit. Okay.
Oh, probably.
Yep. Like, so let's not front. We want we want more, right? We want all of it. You know, like we don't want like a 5-year, but I will take it. If it said like, hey, 5-year anniversary edition, and we have the same artist, same box, whatever, they just put the 5 on it, and then they do some upper quality. People would eat that shit up.
No, that might be a winner for Simon just because of the whole shipping thing and stuff. This thing would ship pretty easy.
This is small. Yeah. However, my request would be that they keep the same colors of each faction. I love how they went completely different from your typical red, green, yellow. You know, like they have a teal in there, like an aqua color, pink, a lime green. Like I love the colors of those little stacks.
Yeah, that game. I mean, they could change. Honestly, they could change the theme. They could. I mean, they could do so many things with that. Like the design is great.
Marvel Ethnos?
Not fine. I mean, fine.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
Yeah, thematically, does it make sense? It's an area. I don't know.
They can make it make sense.
Why not?
All right. So, what's your guesses?
Make it happen.
2.12, 1.9.
Ooh, we're all close.
1.25. Oh, okay. Katia gets it again with 2.04.
God.
Oh, wow.
So now we're playing for second place, guys.
Now I just play spoiler by taking it. It's like, you know, when they're trying to make the playoffs, and I'm just going to keep taking it away.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Ooh,
Game of Thrones? That's a good idea. Yep.
Oh, man, we need to cut the mics on this one. They may take that. They may take that one.
That's a good one.
Ooh,
here's an old one.
Geez.
I love this
man.
game. It's so good. I love this game.
This is another low-key great one here.
Yep. More than 1.3 million sold.
Yeah. For a reason, folks. For a reason.
Yep. Good game.
Yeah, anybody who likes abstract needs that game.
Yeah, this is
no spoilers on that show. I hadn't seen that episode yet.
No,
amongst the kings of abstracts, definitely in G's.
So then, Jeremy, we have to do more gaming together because I freaking love abstract games.
Yeah.
All right. So what we got?
Ready?
This is a rough one.
1.43, 1.6, 1.75. The answer is 1.91 with Mike getting another point there.
I'll take it.
So right now it's 4 for Jeremy, 7 for Mike, and we don't care about where Katia is. Right?
I do.
Probably cut it in half.
She's at 14.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably cut it in half and she's still winning.
Well, you'd be tied with her.
You'd be tied with me now.
Still winning.
Yes, you should give it a try. All right, next one. Let's see, we got. There we go.
Oh boy,
that's a tough one. That's
yeah.
Tough.
There's some debating to be happening there.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's rough.
Oh man, it's been years since I played it too.
I want to give that game a third chance.
You play with the expansion yet?
I have not. That's why I want to give it a chance.
I've got the expansion. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah,
well, you're talking about the new board expansion. There's 2 expansions.
Yeah, the first one was okay. The second one's supposed to be better.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I'm going to bump it a decimal. Okay.
I'm a little worried here.
I may have gone high, but it's okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. 3.23.
Oh my God, Michael.
3.25. Nice.
2.57.
2.57. The answer is 2.91.
Wow.
God damn it.
Giving it again to Katia. All right. Next one.
I've never
the
played
game.
that, but I heard it's just a math thing, and but it is kind of like entry-ish.
That's an oldie. Some people, I think like several. There are some older games that have been skipped over now.
Yeah,
because this came out in 2004.
Power Grid, they still have like a world championships in Power Grid.
So, oh wow.
Yeah, we had a guy here in Milwaukee who was like, I don't know if he was like a U.S. champion or something like that. Like he like was major competitive dude in that space. And then he used to just whoop people at game night in the game. But I will tell you
how it plays.
If you want to watch an old video with me in it, in 10 games I hate.
No.
Okay. Here's the joke. Here's the joke. I've never played Power Grid, but for number 7, I chose Freeman Freeze as a whole. Like, I just don't like any of his games. I don't like any of his games. I play like 5 of his games. I'm like, I know without a doubt I don't like Freeman Freeze games. Yeah, I'm good.
That's fair.
You know what I'd say though is that
Power Grid is like different. I can tell it's different, but I can tell it's different, no question. But for some reason, like I played a lot of his games when I was starting out in gaming, and I was just like, God, these are terrible.
I will say this: I like Power Grid, but I've never really liked any games following it. I was always felt like this was his, big thing, and then everything else was trying to do as well afterwards. And so I still think it should be checked out.
I think Friday is really fun. As a smaller game, Friday is really fun, but that's 504 as a concept was fucking brilliant. But it had so much to it that you found like a few things you liked as a design thing or in a classroom. 504 is great, but on the table it's rough.
Huh.
Yeah. All right, what do we got for ratings? 2.99, 2.75, and 2.08.
Ooh.
They have 3.26.
Ooh.
So that gives Mike, although it's so far away, should you get a point?
Yeah, does it even count?
No change in rules.
I'll say this: Power Grid is what got my partner Aaron into gaming.
Oh wow!
So is it like? Do you agree with that rating? Does it come? Like I've never played it. I have no idea.
No. I think it's a 2.8. I think that rating reflects how it was measured against other games, kind of whenever it was mostly popular. But now today's time is up to, I don't see it as 3.26.
Okay.
Maybe 3. I could see 3.
Okay.
All right. Next.
Oh, it's a Katia, huh?
I'm all over the place with this, right? I still like this game.
So
that was one that the first time I played, I was like, that is so boring.
the number 8 game of top 10 games I hate.
I almost feel like this is the board game version of a mobile game to me. Like, you know how you get on your phone and just kind of play a quick mobile game just to kind of like numb your head? This is what this is to me.
Yeah, I'll play anything else except for this game. Mobile.
I think I might be high. Like, I would vote it lower, but I'm going with the BGG people. I think I would go
2.04. What do you got? 2.2? Is that 2.2?
Yep. Michael, what do you have?
2.01. The answer is 1.75.
Okay, wow. You know what? You know why? You know why? This game, and I gave it too much. I shouldn't have. So that game, the only choice you're really making is timing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're making timing and some set collection, right? Some collection. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Timing and collection. It's like, oh, my choice really is, do I want to be last so I can be first? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really not a fan when I played it the first time. I played it again with my nieces, and I was like, you know, I can kind of see why people enjoy it, but it's still not for me. And that was the reason why I didn't back Namiji, even though those boats are so cool.
Yeah. I had the game.
Almost backed it just for those freaking boats.
Yeah,
the boats. I couldn't do it.
I didn't. But I was like, man, I'm gonna be. And then sure enough, it fulfilled, and everybody's posting about those cool boats, and I'm like,
but they're posting about it, and it's on their shelf of.
It is.
On their shelf of nothing. It's on their shelf of never getting played. It's on their shelf of next year I'll sell it.
You know, the only thing that bothered me. So Naminji, however you say it, it's just barely a step up in weight as far as the kind of goes. Like they just have like a couple extra little cool things in there. But the thing that really bothers me is that it's too big to fit in the Kalax shelf.
Oh, that's no dice.
It doesn't fit. It's too big. It doesn't fit. Even you have to go diagonal with it, which you don't do.
Oh, no dice.
It's got to lay on top of a thing, and that drove me insane.
And on top of that, you have space.
Right? Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say on top of that, some games don't deserve the top space, and like a game like that's probably not really that big either. It's just too big to fit, and it's just like, what? Who are you? Okay, who are you? You don't belong up here. Okay.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do with you? Okay. So.
To make it worse, there's no reason for it. All they had to do was hold the board a little. It would have been fine.
Now we got that part not fitting in the Kalax, which is disrespectful. The other part is these long boards, dude. Why are the boards getting so weirdly long now? Like they're getting long, or people are talking about deluxification. What they don't talk about, they're always so worried about the little components. Oh, we're making miniatures. The boards nowadays are getting gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gigantic. Like I have a 4x6. Like there are some boards you can't put the board, the sideboard, the 4-player boards. You're like, I'm lucky. I'm privileged. I got the big table.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people who don't have room for that. Like I'm thinking like Lost Woods of Arnak. How are people playing that on a 3x3? Like what you got, like a little side table you play?
Yeah. The little dinner trays.
Little trays.
When I was doing the art direction for Last Light, I started out thinking like, oh, we could have these big player boards and stuff like that. And I showed it to Gray Fox, and they were like, all right, do me a favor and take the size of all this and put it on an actual game table. And it was like falling off the edges of a full game table. I was like, okay, I get your point. Had to think about that actual space. I had to cut things down a little bit. Yeah,
I just don't think people are paying attention to that anymore, and they just kind of want to go with the biggest presentation. You know, a good one of that one is Hippocrates or whatever it is that just came from Game Brewer. Don't buy that game. Like if you don't have Serious. Don't buy that game. If you have a small table, you're not going to fit this on your table. It just won't. Like when I got the prototype, I thought it was like an anomaly. I was like, oh, the prototype's just a big board. Sometimes the prototypes are big, whatever. Man, the final it's just huge. There's no reason for it to be that big. There's no reason.
I actually disagree with the Arc Nova one. I know it's long, but they made it thin so that your player boards fit.
Yeah, they made it long. They made it thin for the player board reason.
But when you see a player of 4 people, like a table of 4 people playing it, it immediately looks like it takes up a lot of space.
Yes,
I think it's just a lot to fit. It's just
but not too much.
Yeah, that one is not too much. Like, I think you know what? I almost want to pull out our next rule book. I mean, our next board and that board and see which one's longer. I think our next board is longer.
Yeah, our next is pretty big, but you don't have to have too much. You don't have your player board doesn't have to be as big.
Right? Yeah. Your player board's not much.
All right,
Arc Nova stuff to fit for 4 players. It's tough.
We got 2 more, so we're gonna make each of these like 5 points each, right?
Hey.
Okay. Do it.
Oh man.
It's funny you mentioned that because that was the game that brought me into the modern hobby. And when I went over to my neighbors, they had it set up with, I think, the base game in Dunwich. And they have a decent-sized kitchen table. But when I walked in, and I had not realized what modern board gaming was at the time, when I walked in, the table was full. Had the board, had the Dunwich, it had all the player stuff with all the cards, and then there was a side tray of all the location cards, and then there was a side tray on the other side with all the curses and the blessings and the equipment. And I was like, what the fuck? That game took up so much room.
I have no idea how people rated this because it's the whole having to learn.
This is a discussion game where it's like there's no right answer on this one. It's a very divisive game as far as the rating goes.
No, there's a right answer. I have it right here. All right, what do we got? 4.12 from Katia, 3.78. And what you got, Mike? There's no way you're beating Jeremy.
You can't change your rating now.
I didn't. I wasn't even writing it down. I was talking about Arkham.
Oh my god. It is 3.74.
Oh!
I thought Jeremy had it. Oh, that is.
I didn't think it was north of 4. And what threw me was, you need to know to teach it well. You need to know all the roles. So
yeah.
But asymmetry is a tricky one because if you have enough asymmetry that's easily digestible, then we're not as heavy as we think it is. Right. Like Dwellings of Elder Vale, you have a basic understanding of how things work. And it's lighter simply because they have benefits that are different, but the gameplay is the same.
Right. The benefit is only a little tweak,
it's like, oh, you just get to do this and you have a unique meeple, but the rules are the same for you.
Right.
So it's like, but then at the same time, Root is very specific and it plays your own game, but 2 of the factions in the base game are actually very easily digestible. 2 of the factions in there are very easy. Like the birds, and the marquee are very easy to understand the game. They actually teach you the game. They almost literally teach you the game. Although you won't be as successful with the birds, probably on your first go.
That's a tough one.
But the general fold of the card play is almost like Arc Nova. Like you really have to know how to play these cards. And that's where I think that extra root. It's root.
That's how Lance always says it.
Root. Yeah, that's
I make fun of it when I see it.
That's an interesting conversation on that one.
Yeah.
All right, final one.
10
points.
Oh, I love cats. I love cats. Another perfect family game.
I haven't actually played this one.
Oh,
same. I haven't played it.
Oh goodness, you have to play this game. It is like
I'll say I'll try it.
It's just one of the cleanest gaming experiences you'll have. Like, no question. Must have. Give me all of it. Ooh. And it's going to Target as it should.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it'll do well.
Yeah, it will. It will do well. He can't keep that thing inside.
I don't like the cover though. I don't like the cover.
I don't like
That's
the cover
only because you thought it was an actual cat-shaped island when I made you draw it.
It's true. It should be a cat-shaped island.
You know what? That's not a good box, but that's actually the reason why it is a good box for a cover, like for a presentation. It's because it's white.
Yeah.
I think the white box saves it.
Yeah. Yes and no. Like if you own a box after a while that's white, that gets all like dirty and stuff.
But presentation wise, it looks good, right? Like
it's gonna grab it off the shelf.
But you see cats, you see the cats on the cover, and it's white, so it's pronounced.
Yep. Yeah, because what happens is that you have so many games side by side on the shelves, and then you have this middle of the box surrounded with the white, so your eyes are going to go to that because of the gap.
Yep.
You know what you should have? You should have an episode where we rate the box.
Oh, we totally should.
Yes.
So it's like you present your covers and we just talk about the covers. Like you take your 5 favorite boxes and you explain why the cover is amazing. And it's like, buy it or pass it.
Yeah. Buy it or burn it.
Buy it or burn it. Because the key is that, like, okay, not a lot of people go to the stores anymore. So it's like, if I'm looking at this box, you don't even have to explain the game. You just have to explain why you think this box is a perfect product.
Right. Yeah.
And then, like, what you're looking at. Because, like, to me, here's an example. Like, Sagrada is a perfect product to me. When you look at it on the shelf, there's literally nothing wrong with that box. You almost have to pick it up. Like, if you knew nothing about the game, you're just looking at that. You're like, wow, that is a beautiful looking product. It's smaller than the other boxes. It's not as big. Mm-hmm. And then when you pick it up, it's light. So you look at it, you're like, damn. And it's got a good price point. I mean, it's hard not to buy. It's hard.
You flip it over and you see that it comes with these translucent dice and you're sold.
Oh, when you flip it over, look at the back of the box. Like when you look at the back of the box, still color, presentation, explains a turn, done, bought. That's why that game, it's literally a perfect product. Azul's a perfect product too.
I was just gonna say, for
Azul
me,
is a perfect product. It is a perfect. That's why I said it's a modern classic. There's no way that game can't sell.
I think Azul, not only the pattern, but the color choices of those tiles, they nailed it. It stands out.
Even the pattern, like just the wording of Azul on the cover sticks out just a tad on the box. It's beautiful. That game is, if you can get that out of your box, you just will sell a crap ton of games, even if your game is shit. But some games just look great. They just look great on the shelf. You know, like you're like, holy crap, that is amazing. You know,
there's an interesting one to look up. Carnavalesco,
only in Brazil.
Oh, well, don't worry. Jeremy will get his hands on that. What is that? Brazil is no barrier for me now.
Oh, well then we'll look forward to how to play video or something.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so there's a reason why I'm being braggadocious right now. And it's because I was looking, I'm sure, I don't know, Katia, did you see that when I was like going really hard on this for a while? I was like, hey, does anybody have it's some kind of like social security number you need to have for Brazil, because you can't buy stuff Brazil and send it here. You have to have like a certain code. You can't even do it through Amazon. Like you have to put in this number and then they verify it or something like that and they can send it. Well, this game, Comic Hunters, which is only licensed in Brazil. It is a Marvel licensed game, but it is only in Brazil and it's only in Portuguese. So you can't get it anywhere. You can't get it anywhere else, and the person can't sell it anywhere else.
Oh wow!
So I had to. I did some things. I got it.
Can't talk about it.
Let me tell you something. I'm a 44-year-old kid. I want what I want. I get what I want. Sometimes I pay a premium for it, but that's fine. All right. But yeah, you can find it. You can find it. So that game right there, I'm gonna be looking it up and see if it's all what you say it is. Carnivalesco.
I'm gonna have to look it up just because.
Is it even listed?
We didn't see who got the point for all the cats here. We're getting off the subject.
Oh, hold on.
We got to get our ratings going out here.
Right.
Oh, look at you with your little brand new little hotness. Carnivalesco just came out in 2022. You. Oh, look at you. Now I'm making fun of you because I don't have it. Look at you.
That was my cat rating. What are we at?
What 2.2?
Oh, I had 2.3. 2.3.
2.3?
I'm there. Wow. I won.
How weird. So it's right between you and Katia, 2.34. But I'm going to give it to you. So.
Okay.
Closest we're not going over.
So the final score, Jeremy's 5, Mike is 10, and Katia is 15. However, I did forget about the transfer between Canadian points and American points.
Oh, God.
Right?
Fuck out of here with that one. Here we go.
Going in USD, okay?
Here we
go.
Well
done. You've done well. You kicked their ass.
Well, Michael did, slowly creep back up.
I did.
Yeah, if there was like 50 games in that list.
Yeah. So let's talk about how we evaluate the ratings. Like, how do you go from, when you were talking about, this game has a lot going on, or, I definitely go by several criterias, including teachability.
Yeah.
And how often you got to go back in the rule book during the game? When you teach it, are people able to remember the game right away? Or do they need a player? Or do they need to wait, what did you say about this again? Or like that, to me, the teach itself and the first play experience has a lot, affects the rating a lot for me.
What's difficult there is there's a lot of on the publisher there, right? Bad rule books, lack of player aids, walkthroughs of first turns, the amount of iconography. Yep. Is it by mechanic? Because engine builders are likely to be more digestible. But at the same time, engine builders can be weird because some people don't know how to build an engine. Or just by simple fact of trick taking alone, does anybody understand the other concept to the main game? So it's like deck building and worker placement. Well, I understand worker placement, but I don't get all the deck building thing, right? So it's that's where the ratings get a little tough. They get a little tough. But I'm gonna go through 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Okay. 1 is pat, 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 pat. Okay.
Hungry hippo.
2 is I can do this, I can do that, and I also need to make choices with these cards. Okay. 3 is I take these cards, they are multi-use, and I can turn them and use them for different things. I can build and make choices, whether it's routes and I create a flow to it, or I make a choice where I complete an engine on my own. That's 3. 3 has layers. Okay. It has layers. These cards that I have multiple choices that I can do with those cards. And then I also have multiple choices I can make, whether it's building my own routes to my own in-game scoring, or the game teaches me to do that as well. But then 4 4 is I'm presented with an open concept of challenges. Okay, like wide open, which are usually why war games are usually the 4.0s. Like they are the 4s. Partly because they have open challenges on different fronts and sections of the board, at any point of the game. Like, and your first move could be your last move, and it's a 4-hour process of how you're losing. Now, are there games that do that? Like, let's say, like Mage Knight. It can be that could fall in there. Mage Knight, because of the weight of your choices, it's a big mathematic problem that leads to a climax of your choices with the mathematics. And or I'm just trying to think of those games that really, really hit it. But when I think, what's that?
Like Terra Mystica and Gaia Project.
Gaia Project, same thing. Your weight of your choices.
It's all your decisions. Yep.
Right. It's all your decisions.
Do you think time playing has something to do with it? Because you mentioned like 4 hours. Do you think a 45-minute game could be a 3.5?
No. I had in my criteria, time is a factor.
Yeah.
The time of teach is a factor. Hold on.
I didn't think about teach at all.
I didn't think about teach at all because I feel like so many things. So Bear Raid. Okay, so Bear Raid is a very fun game that I think even content creators can have a hard time explaining how to play. And the game is fun as all hell. Just can't explain it well. Like you just can't pitch it. Like you're like explaining like other mechanics on other mechanics, but it's like weird how you control the and then like you're like this person's excited. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But but it's just that's the thing. But literally the game is like 2.2.
Interesting. It does happen because, for example, so this past weekend we had the one play test that Michael taught us. The teach was a little like, wait, what am I doing? How does this work? And then once you get playing, it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. And it is like not a super heavy game, but I got that feeling of like, yeah, it's kind of weird to explain. It's almost even like Scout is a little bit like that, where it's like, it's a little bit kind of weird to explain, but once you play it, you get it. It's not a heavy game. So it does happen.
Have you played Decorum?
No.
So Decorum is a very weird game that way. Like, so that's another thing. When you have games that have these kind of weird interactions at the table, I can't say exactly what I'm doing. So like in Gloomhaven, you can't say exactly what you're doing, and it may seem obvious, but you can't cutthroat your player out and lose an opportunity in a game where you can't lose opportunities because every card is an opportunity. And the weight of your choices early will be devastating later on if you don't make the right choice. That's why the game's so fucking great. But like, so there's that, and then there's also a Decorum where you can't say anything, but you can react. And that's the key. It's like you can react, but then there's still this complex puzzle of like, what are they saying to me? I wonder what they rate that game. Like, it's a very hard game to rate. Like, it's not an easy game. If you play at 4 players, trust me, it is like 4 people with 4 different mindsets trying to build a house together. And it feels like that through the gameplay. But how do you rate that? And that's very difficult to do. That's a very, very difficult thing to do because there are these experiences like Tammany Hall. Like I said, I think Tammany Hall it's a light medium weight game, but the actual part of that where there's this negotiation and this kind of rocks that's going on. One of the best game nights of my life was when I played Tammany Hall. One of the best games of my life. My wife thought we were about to kill each other down here. But I just feel like that's the hardest thing to rate is the emotional connection. Like Ready, Set, Bet you still know it's a light game, but then there's other games where it's just like, what influence? Like, does that influence you up or down? That kind of interaction that goes on at the table.
I feel like.
Oh, go for it.
I was just about to say, as far as like personal interaction with other people and stuff, like take just went right on my head. Starts with a B. It's the one with the witch in the front. It's a
broom service.
Broom service. Yeah. So take that for example. To me, that's a lighter game because I can read what people are probably going to do pretty well. But there's a lot of people that have a hard time reading what other people are going to do, and they think of that as a much tougher game. So it's really how you interact with people whenever you start grading that.
So, okay, I'm going to just where we are here. Let's see. So I have Spirit Island over here on my table. Yep. Spirit Island co-ops are by percentage-wise supposed to be hard. 30% or lower, right? 30% or lower is what you're shooting for. Low 30s and under. But the complexity and the choices of your cards.
Spirit Island is
a lot. It's a lot. Then when you add Branch and Claw, then when you add the complexity of the actual spirits and Branch and Claw, but gameplay wise, it is a heavy game. But do you take it up a notch because you have to cooperate? So that's another thing. So do we take a game up a notch because we have to cooperate? Does that add to the difficulty of the game? Or does it take it down because it's like, oh, this is really just a dumb game, but we have to communicate, we have to co-op. Like, so this interaction part is a really good conversation to me because I have an alternative to that.
I was going to say, I think it lowers it because,
So Atlantis Rising, where the stakes are, just absolutely insane. I mean, like, it's insane. Like, you know the event is going to happen. You know it's going to come down percentage-wise to the last 4 turns, right? Yep. But you know it's a disaster along the way. Everybody's going to be arguing. But this game is going to scale lighter because at the end of the day, what are you doing? Rolling dice. Placing the dice.
Sure.
Done. But I wonder, for some reason, maybe it's just because Spirit Island by design definitely is a heavier game. Definitely, you can't fight it. But I just wonder, by the way, what is Spirit Island rated? It has to be a 4.
If it's not a 4, it has to be like really high in the 3s.
Yeah, it's got to be 4.
It's like, I remember playing it the second time. We basically had to reread the whole rule book.
The weight is 4.05.
Yeah, wow. I was just say it's got to be a 4.
And you should have been that down during the game.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, so let's take another game where, so like Magic. Is Magic a heavy game? Oh, right there. Here we go. And the Magic is the most complex game of all time. So this is the thing. I also feel like the factor is, are you talking about with expansions or are you talking about Magic? So that's the key. Are we talking about viticulture? Are we talking about viticulture with Tuscany? Are we talking about X? And that's what these people are putting into the ratings. Some of them even forget the fact that they have the expansions or modules inside of their base game. Yep. So it's like, have you ever played viticulture without Tuscany? Like, have you ever played the non-essential edition?
I can tell you nobody's at my game table has played Lords of Waterdeep without the Skullport expansion because I won't teach it without it.
Right. So it's like, if you play a game, so for me, I play Lost Ruins of Arnak base, but or like Dune base, but what if somebody's never played it without the expansions, right? Right. So what do they rate it? Yeah. Well, I played Dune. Well, I rate Dune this, but you actually played with the expansions, so you're rating it kind of with the expansion. So that's where flaw goes into all these ratings in a sense. You can also have for campaign games, you can also have this issue where let's say like the writing wasn't as good. So like now let's get into campaign games, the theme, right? So does theme add to weight because you were more immersed into the game? You know, like those types of, right. That immersion, like what does that mean? Like does that weight it higher? Because it's like not only was I making these crazy choices, but it was like I was in, you know, like
I think if it's done well, theme will lighten it for you because you're doing what feels natural in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
It depends on if the game's doing it well. If the game's doing a thing where it's like, here's the theme, but if you do this, this is what wins, then that's the game's problem. And that's, you know, that's going to make it feel weird and off.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think, well, I don't all the way. My case. Hey, allow me to be consistent. I've had my sketch. Kingdom Death Monster is the counter to that because there are thematic choices you make that can impact your clan, your village, that allow the future of said village to be harder or end completely or alter the way that they live their lives. It's a very weird thematic choice. That game is very weird. Like I had it out tonight to take pictures for our top 10 and like spoilers. And every time I pull it out, I just think to myself, I'm putting all the town part out, and I'm like, and then I'm putting the cards out that like sell how you develop, because you actually like go through time and you kind of develop different things like words and like cannibalism and all that stuff. And it's just like there's so much stuff. There's so many choices that are very thematic, and it's so dark. And I mean everything. I mean, what do you do with someone with one arm that can't reproduce? That's so far to your clan. Like what do you do with them? You care for them. You
leave them home. Yeah, it's part of your population. You leave them home.
Or you rip them out there to get decapitated. Whatever. I mean, whatever. But there's that. There's like this, you know, that's another part. It's like thematic, meta, this kind of things like that. Like, what's that weight? And you're saying it brings it down. Sometimes I'm thinking it brings up like the weight of your choices. It just depends.
Sure. I mean, like legacy and stuff like that could mess with that. All I mean is like when you're playing a game, let's say you're playing a vampire and your choice is a walk through the park or attack somebody. The attack somebody should be, exactly. The attack somebody should be your better choice.
Right.
And if you just, the theme, if it connects that way, will make the weight go down because you don't have to sit there and do point values and stuff. You go, I'm a vampire, I attack.
Right. You're a vampire. This is what I thematically do. Huh.
Again, it depends on how well.
Yeah, I think it does depend. Because I like just me being the campaign trailer dude. I think, I just think of these choices that are like, I mean, I play a lot of games with like a lot of culture and resident, you know, like just kind of like taking care of lots of people or economy. So for some reason now that I'm kind of like jumping back on my argument, I feel like there is some weight added to choices. How about like?
I was gonna ask, what about component, like the amount of component that come in a box, the amount of stuff you have to set up and put out on the board, and like, do you think that's linked into weight? Not physical weight.
Yeah, physical. Okay, so like since I am putting things out for my top 10 and taking photos and stuff, like taking and putting out like Kingdom Death Monster is not an easy task. There's a lot of things that you are like putting Spirit Island out there and making it look like I was playing Spirit Island last night. is not an easy task. Like putting out Mage Knight and looking like you played Mage Knight like 15 minutes ago is not an easy task. So, yeah, I feel like the components setup time is factored in, not by me, but it is factored in.
Yeah, I think so
feel
too.
Like that is.
I think it definitely affects. Like I'm thinking, like when I look at, like for me, like when I look at light games, I'm looking at like takes a few minutes to teach, doesn't need a player aid, few components. Like typically I'm thinking like it's a quick card game, it's a quick something that you plop on the table and it's like this is how you play, this is what we do, done. And we get started and it's everybody can understand it. Non-gamers will understand how to play it. But then I look at like the heavier games and playtime. Like for me, I also included playtime. Like a light game would be something that I'm picturing like 20, max 30 minutes. Okay. And then you'll start getting into light medium. And then like my heavy ones are like, I wrote basically like it would have to be like over 2 hours.
Okay, have you seen or played Foundations of Rome?
I have not. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the
Foundations of Rome is a very big challenge on several fronts. Like it is like a kind of an anomaly product. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like it's a ridiculous product. It won't exist again. Like there's no way that game will exist again. It is a $260 very, very good entry level type game. Very good. It's not breaking a ton of barriers, but it's definitely doing what it does damn good. Like it's doing what it does damn good on presentation and what you're looking at. And I think to myself, like, I also want to like interview people after they play the game. Like I wish I could just sit there with like Gen Con and be like, how do you feel about this game? Because I feel like you would get different weight answers that are like way more variants like than you think there is. Like I really do. I really, really do. And I would love to like ask them questions like was it the like did you feel like the presentation was there? And if I keep asking them these open questions, I think I would get to the point of like, like this game is a really good example of like weight is hard to judge. Weight is very hard to judge. And I feel like when you have a game that's sometimes visually exciting, that's another thing where people go, oh, well, it's just this beautiful piece of, whatever, like Foundations of Rome. It is a lighter game. It's not like it's hiding that or anything like that, but it's a really fun game. And sometimes people just dismiss it. So they rate it lower in weight, right?
Oh.
But we don't know, like we almost will never find out if you looked at the BGG weight. That's how I say. That's what I'm saying. So it's like you almost have to interview people like right away. Like, what would you rate it on a BGG scale right now? And then what factors went into that right now? Whereas like Everdell, I bet you Everdell had low ratings and then it slowly went up. Like I bet you, because people saw that tree and they saw the animals, and when it was on Kickstarter, they were rating it low in complexity. And then when they got the game, they were like, "Oh, hold on now! Like this is not just a cakewalk game."
What do you think Everdell was rated?
Like right now, what it's at?
Like what is it now?
Rated right now? Yeah,
I'm gonna go with 2.6.
2.3.
Come on.
Sure. 2.5.
2.8.
Right in the middle.
What?
Yep.
Yeah. But what do you think Foundations of Rome is rated?
2.2.
Oh, I'm gonna go 2.9.
Yeah, 2.2 is a good answer.
1.95.
Yeah, wow. It's right there. It's right there.
Wow.
It's right there. Like I said, it's such a
wow.
It's like such a great anomaly of a game.
Yeah.
it's such a, you know what? It's such a product, right? It's such a product.
It feels like you're dodging the term overproduced because it's a negative thing, and maybe you're not. You don't want to say it.
I don't think. No. I mean, overproduced is what it is, right? But like for me,
but not in a
I
negative.
look at them as products because of like also the mindset that I'm in as far as like manufacturing and that side as well. It's just like, holy shit, they pulled this off. Like, like it. I don't always go with the overproduced thing because I feel like it's a derogatory term.
Yeah.
Meant for dispelling someone's vision. So if I presented this game to you as a designer and I came to you with my prototype that was absolutely ridiculously big and you were like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are you bringing me this big old art project of a game when all I want to do is make it, small, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, but this is my vision. Take a look at this, and this is what I'm trying to do with it. Mm-hmm. And when you do, and they took a risk on Emerson Matsushi and did that, and it worked. Mm-hmm. And like to me, like that's the true artist vision. It's like people used to write Tim Burton blank checks, right? And it's the same idea, it's the same idea. It's like sometimes you get through with these products, and that's their vision. Like whether you see it as overproduced or not, it's like no, but that was the vision. It wasn't like they took his design and it was on, cardboard and it was just like, some cubes or whatever. And they were like, no, let's trick it out. Let's make it this big old thing. No, it was the other way around. They were just like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Like, let's give it a shot. And the economy has changed. This can't exist again. I don't think this can ever exist again. But I just think it's a very interesting product. And it's such an anomaly. It is such an anomaly. It's very interesting about like the business side of it all. Like it's just.
I worry about the copycats coming afterwards that don't know exactly how to do it right.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
I think when it went to Kickstarter, the world was different than when it delivered. And in such a drastic way. Like in such a drastic way. Like there was a couple games that came out that were at $99 that just could not be at $99, but they funded at $99 right before the pandemic.
Well, I'm thinking like Dwellings.
Right.
So Dwellings of Eldervale, to me, when I saw the Kickstarter, I was like, man, that is underpriced.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, subsidizing all that stuff, take $20, $30 off top. That's norm. But Dwellings of Eldervale launches today. There's no way that game is not $250. There's just no way. Like it's $200 bare minimum. $200 bare minimum. No question.
It's almost 300 right now if you buy it on Breaking Games.
That's what I'm saying. Like so, like Kickstarter price has to be $200, $229, something like that. But you're not going to get much gap, and I think that's the reality that we're gonna be in. Is like, okay, folks, you have to see the truth. And games aren't cheap. Games are a premium hobby experience, and for some of these titles, that's the price. I'm sorry, like that's the price, and we have to decide. We can't have all the toys. That's the problem. We can't have all the toys. I think that's what happens with us is that we want like that access, that access to not have the funds to do it makes us not happy. Like, but I want the toy. Well, the toy's $169. Well, I only got $80. This is stupid. Well, I don't have my allowance until 2 weeks later. You mean your paycheck? My allowance. And the Kickstarter is going to close. This is BS.
Yeah.
So it's like I think that's what's going on, and And unfortunately, the business is like, hey, fuck, you got to pay the price, baby. That's what it is, you know. And I'm gonna hit you for $60 later on. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna hit you for 60 later on because this is a 40 freaking pound box.
Yep.
You know,
but
like
so speaking of something like Foundations of Rome, that is a low weight game, but is like insanely big in terms of production. Like, what about the games like Tsuro that come back on Kickstarter with a blinged out, like
I don't hold that
collectors and whatever it is, but it's like the game is insanely simple.
So simple does not devalue games to me. Games, it you have to look at it like. So example, here's a good example. How much would you pay for a chess set? I think that divides us. I think that divides us right there. Whatever your first number in your head was, that divides us, right?
Okay.
So most people will not pay. When I say Azul, that divides us as well. If I told you Azul was $50, some people would go like, "There's so many other games I could buy for $50. Why would I buy Azul for $50?" Right? It's like, oh, I could get 2 games for that price. I'm like, dude, like, it's not. You don't have to get all in a bunch about it, buddy. But what I find is like, so for Quarto, I'll just tell you this: Quarto is one of my favorite games of all time. I am on the search for the $350 Quarto set. That's it's like gigantic Quarto. It's actually the only game I want in this world more than anything.
Okay.
It's the only game I want in this world. Like that game, I want that big one so I can put it on my table. I will have a table specifically for that game because it's one of the best. But nobody would ever do that. I would back the people would back 3 campaign games before they would back that game. So right there, like that's worth it. I watch people buy Foundations of Rome for I think I bought what was it, $280? I think it was
$230, I think, with the expansion.
But at the con, it was like $260, something like that. But believe me, I bought 2. But you know, like I don't know. I just feel like it's like a do you thing, but it just lets me know there's no limit. It's this product for me is such an like that's what I'm saying. It's such an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
It just proves to you that it's like, you know, what's the value is the value. It's not, you know, it's not like I said, what, $300, $400, $500 on a chess set? I mean, not uncommon.
I put together a few Kickstarters every now and then, and one of the biggest things to do is how to price it, right? Because you have to take in the game's balance that you're presenting. The game's weight that you're presenting to people, but you also have to put in like the value of the bling. Like you look at Foundations of Rome, and it is undeniably just beautiful to look at. It's got all the buildings and everything like that. It's going to look great on the table. It's huge box that fits right into a Kalag's hole. I mean, that to me is more of a factor than the game weight in that game, and that's the reversal, right? Most games, whenever you're trying to figure out how much, like Azul. Whenever I think about valuing the Azul, I'm not thinking like, oh, what people will pay for these little tiles. It's that game weight that I would value it at. Yeah. So it's weird that's what you're saying is like I feel like you're saying Foundations of Rome is flipping it, because really what you're paying for is all that bling, and you're going to get enjoyment from that bling.
Yes, that's the thing. Like you bought the table presentation, and you may not even have seen how the game plays. Right. You just like, man, this game looks so fucking good. Like, whoa, this is mind blowing. And then you buy it, and I would even say most people who even see the game as like, when they finally play, they're like, oh shit, I bought this light ass game. They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say that. I think most people who play this game, light or not, will be like, damn, that was fun. Like, that's fun. Like that investment, something about it is just, yeah. I'm sorry, I went on a full other tangent. I just want to say that, like, Foundations Rome is one of the best products for setup ever. You literally take, you boom, 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 flip out the board, flip out the other board, put the cards down, boom, we're ready. Like, it's literally, when they say setup is less than 5 minutes, I'm like, what, 4 minutes? Shit, if you know what you're doing.
And we tried to do that with Dwellings and didn't quite. It's still pretty good, but
no, Dwellings is very easy to set up though. It is very easy to set
for
up.
the game. For the game that you get, the size of the box and stuff, like the fact that everybody's got their tray and it's like, here you go, here you go, here you go.
If you are playing the base game, and this is kind of where I'm at with this kind of stuff, even with heavyweight games, like if you organize the game right, if it's your third time playing, what's the setup time? So that's my key. Like when we get to the third game, we've played it enough. We played it at 2 different player accounts, something like that, where we kind of know the setup. Like I set up Endless Winter. It's a beast of a setup. But once I knew where the cards are supposed to go and how the decks are supposed to be set up without having to look back for player count or whatever, it's like I just played this. Solo even has extra setup. So it's like, oh, okay, so I just take these cards out, throw this over here. Okay. Then then what I did was to prove how long it took to set up. I had a player mat. I had a mat for the game. So it had where all the places would go and all that stuff. I took the mat away. And I set it up from scratch because I was trying to slide stuff off and the cards flew everywhere. It's like shit. So I put it back together and I was just like, that didn't take that long. But I bet you when the game comes out, people they were like, the setup's kind of long. And I'm like, you got to get to that third gameplay, I feel like, to understand what you're really looking at here. Setup time, I just thought about that as well. But Foundation of Rome is like a perfect setup time for me. It's amazing.
Well, and especially if you say it, like the gameplay is on the lighter side.
How much do you tolerate?
There's definitely it's a common complaint when you bring out a game that is on the lower complexity side. It's a lighter game, and it took like 30 minutes to set it up. People are like, I expected more from this. There's definitely a relationship there in people's brains that it's like when there's a long setup time, you expect a heavier game.
What's a game that's like that? That like I'm just trying to think. I know there is, but I'm thinking like, what's a game that's like that actually is like a 30-40 minute game, and you're like, dude, why are we still setting this shit up? Like,
I played one recently.
You're like, what are we like? Why are we separating all these decks? Like, what are we doing?
How about Arkham? Arkham takes forever to set up, and it's really not that difficult of a game.
Yeah. But to Jeremy's point, like once you've played that game enough, like you have a good put away system or setup system. It's not complicated.
Anytime we play it, by the time the game group like gets there and stuff, my sister-in-law has set it up, and that's the only game that happens like that because it takes a while for her to get all the cards out, put it out, and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're playing it wrong.
Let's see. Wonderland's War is actually a pretty heavy game to set up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty. Woo.
But they did a really good job. The flow chart.
Yeah, they did a good job with the flow chart, except who the fuck wants to do the flow chart?
You need that, though. You definitely need that.
Like I said, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, before you play a game of Wonderland's War, make sure you don't have a scotch yet. Just make sure you haven't. Make sure you haven't had a drink or two, or you've been festive. Because, Lord, geez, oh my goodness, that game, that beast of a setup. Thankfully, the gameplay pays off. But definitely, certain games, that's another one. Like, that's another topic. Is it worth the setup?
Right? That's what I mean. Yeah. You have to make sure that the game back it up.
I mean, some games, they're a beast to set up, but are they worth it? Is Bedrush worth the setup? Hell yes. Hell yes.
Do you put that into the weight when you're factoring in the weight?
What's that?
Do you factor that into the weight? The
yes
payoff for the setup?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it ties into the components too, like the amount of components, right? It's all kind of
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Rampage, all those meeples to set up the whole little building and all that.
Mm.
You know what? I need to play that Victorian Masterminds.
Oh, I have it right here. I love that game.
It kind of fell flat for me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I love the artwork and stuff, but we played it twice and it was like, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, but did you play just 2 people?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a game that you need the higher player count for
then
sure.
They should have put 3 to 4 on it.
Yep.
That's their fault.
Do you play? No, hold on. Did you have a show? Does it play well with 2?
No, but we should.
We have one recommend like our top 2-player games.
No, because this is a twist. This is a twist though, because that's two-player games you like. Okay.
Right.
But there are some games that have 2-player variants in it. Even though it says 2-5 on the box. What are we doing here?
Yep.
What are we doing here?
Don't make me talk about Oath.
Yeah.
Don't make me bring up Dungeon Pets.
Oh, wow. So here we are, right? Yeah. Here we are. Here we are. Great discussion, right? Great discussion. Does it work well with 2? And by the way, I do this because Thomas is like,
oh yeah,
like, but he was so ignorant about it. Every time a game comes on the thing, he'd be like, "How's it play with 2? How's it play with 2? How's it play with 2?" Like that was his only comment. Like, how does it play with 2? Oh yeah, Air, Land, and Sea is. Oh, Heroes of Air, Land, and Sea set up where what?
Yeah, you end up losing half the map, or
certain games. Mosaic. I have Mosaic. But I'm just talking new hotness. Like, okay, I got all the candy. All right, here we go. But
I'm back
Mosaic is definitely a beast of a setup. I mean, you're putting 40, 50 tokens out there, covering up land spaces, getting the decks all set up or whatever. Does it add to the weight? Now, I guess that goes back into the theme, though, because if I'm playing a game that's a Civ game, I expect to do something like that. Whereas if I'm playing Foundation of Rome, I don't expect that.
Right.
Not that I don't think it deserves it. So if they had Foundation of Rome, I had to draft cards or something like whatever, right? Like, but for that game, interestingly enough, Mosaic not only has that, they also have decks that you need to put things in and out of, and multiple decks. Then you also have a card draft. You have a hero draft. That's a lot of setup.
It's all setup.
But it's a Civ game.
Wow.
You know, but it is a civilization game. But it can interestingly enough, outside of that setup, the game can be played in under 2 hours. It can play it in 2 hours, easy. That's the craziest part about that game.
That's good.
That's another interesting game. But
here's one I'd say goes under your rule. I think Arnak is fastest set up on your 3rd play or more.
Yep.
Arnak is not bad if you have everything like separated well.
Dude, if you have Arnak separated right, it's so easy. Even what will happen is if you got the leaders expansion, it will organize you even further because the box space isn't right for adding that stuff in there. You kind of have to toss it all in there, even if you have bags. But it's like, all right, how am I going to organize this? Every leader has a bag. I can already assign leaders to a color already if I want, so you can get the game out there faster. It's just one of those games that teaches you how to set it up. Whereas Dune Imperium, let's play. Like, that's the difference. Like, I like Arnak better than Dune, but I will play Dune with you quickly, and I will say yes every time. I'll say yes every time. I don't know many people. If you want to speak about Dune, I don't know many people who have played Dune that would say no to playing a game of Dune.
Yeah.
You have to dislike that tension.
That's the thing. But I don't think I haven't been rejected in someone saying, like, I haven't been rejected, not once.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, you know what, man? Let's just play Dune. Everybody's gonna play. Like, I don't know what it is. That game. It's amazing how simplicity and how tense that game is. That's a very interesting game. It's just a very interesting experience. But I was at a convention. I said that, and everyone was just like, yeah, I would play Dune. Yeah. Because there's people who haven't played it yet too, right? It'll be like, yeah, I want to play,
Yeah, I always bag up my games like that for player colors, what you're set up.
Oh, Peter, cut it out.
He's not wrong.
People play with me because I make it so you don't have to play at 2. As I tell people, I'm here for the good times and the player count. Okay. I pose no threat to you.
Yeah. But it's funny because we talked about setup, and I think one of the longest setup that I've experienced is Gloomhaven.
Yeah, Gloomhaven's a beast.
Gloomhaven's setup is insane.
Yeah,
and the weight matches it too. It's
right.
A heavy game. It's one that every time you almost need to go back to the rule book, and it's like, wait, how do you resolve this again? How does line of sight or there's so much to it, but man, it's freaking good.
Those two, so Kingdom Death Monster and Gloomhaven, are just absolute beasts to set up. Like, saving the game state and coming back to it is just such a task.
Yep.
At least Gloomhaven has some semblance. Like, if you get the inserts, you can just kind of put the stuff out and lay it out. It's better. But even with Kingdom Death, you have to account for where your civilization's at, look at the characters, change up, clothing, and who are we fighting? What's our quarry look like?
Yep.
I mean, just it's just a whole thing.
Yeah.
And whereas Gloomhaven is setting up the decks, getting the decks together, modifier decks, getting the cards in the sleeves.
Yes.
You've already made your character choices, so you got to make your little bag. You
gotta find your little minis that are gonna.
There's a little bit of that. Whereas with KDM, it's okay, so where do we stop at? We stopped at the town. It's almost like a overly complex D&D for some reason, right? Why is it so more complex than D&D? But goddamn, that game's great.
The best version I've seen are the ones with the binders and the sleeves.
I had the binders when I first had the game. By the way, KDM is the reason why I became a content creator. Just so you know.
Nice.
I sold everything. I sold all my KDM stuff, so I could go to that Gen Con 50. So
wow.
And that's how I went to the Gen Con. I was like, I love this game. I love everything about this game, but I didn't want to take any money out of our money.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll just sell it. I love it, but I'll sell it. And I sold it, and I used all that to go to the Gen Con 50 where I became a content creator. So yeah.
Wow.
But speaking of setup, now I'm also factoring this into the KDM thing. You have to build everything.
Yeah, that's what somebody mentioned earlier. Is you got to build all your minis.
Setup, you also have to make the minis. Okay, so yes, components are effective when you have to build the components to play.
That's the only reason I don't own that game is because you have to literally construct the minis. The gameplay itself, it's like Twilight Imperium. It's very simple, right? The game is not a complex game, but there's so much strategy and so much building. Yeah, literally building. That's
literally building.
Yeah,
it's like no, you don't write down your D&D character. No, you're building it. Okay, you're literally building it.
They want you to bond. It's a bonding experience with your character.
I call bullshit on that one. There's no bonding when you're taking 100 hands and you're wrapping a bird's ass with it.
Literally, I mean, the thing is literally eating your head off. There's moments where you can defeat a boss, and with its last dice roll, it can cut your best warrior's head off. And here you are, you've invested 9 lantern years into somebody, or they come back and they've been queued up for murder because somebody decided that they murdered someone. A bone witch can come to town, curse your village, come back 3 years later and says, "Give me your youngest son." Just just terrible choices. I mean, like, there's just so much choice. I don't know why I decided to talk about KDM all night tonight, but
it is really good.
It is really freaking good. And it's such a turnoff for so many people. I 1,000,000% understand. I understand. And if you look down upon me because I like that game, I totally understand. But I stand my ground.
No one should look down upon people for
that.
I've never played it. I would play it. I just never have. I kind of stay away from games like, because I got Gloomhaven for the first Kickstarter, and then I played the first thing, and the problem is I have a it's Pathfinder, but D&D basically game all the time, and if I feel like if you have that already, then the board game versions just don't quite measure up and stuff. So that's why I haven't invested in something like that. But I'd play it though.
My core to that one is I would say that this game, the reason I think I'm so passionate about it is because it covers like all the hobby in a sense. Like it covers all of it. If you are a D&D player, you would love this game. If you're a dungeon crawler, you like this game. If you like miniatures, you put your miniatures together. Like it's got the strategy. It's got all that in it. Like it's got like just all parts of the hobby in it. You're painting if you want to paint. So I was all in on it. I was all in. And it was like, that was a good half a year of my life just playing that game. It's a lifestyle game. So
did you get a chance to play Iridia?
Yes, I did.
What are your thoughts on it? Because I backed it. So what are your thoughts on that?
That game's gonna be amazing, dude. That game's gonna be amazing.
That's all I need to know.
I waited for 3 years for that Kickstarter to launch. And
it was announced so long ago. I remember back when I was helping promote in BGR, I remember scouting that one. I was like, oh, this looks so good. And then it never came out. And then finally launched.
Yeah, he contacted me because he knew I was so excited about the game. Dude, I was losing my mind. I was like following him on BGG. Like, interestingly enough, he was going to make a Zaya game. And I think the original concept is like kind of Star Wars, just like fighting out in the space, but then like on the planet as well. And it was going to be like, two things going on here. You could play Zaya with the on the world as well. So it was like you had the space opera kind of thing. And then he realized it was just 2 different games. So he made Iridia.
That's interesting.
Dude, it feels all right. Just feel me. This is big talk, so just don't hold me to it. I'm just saying this. I already had a drink or two, okay? Like I already had a drink or two. Link to the Past.
Ooh.
And like Final Fantasy V.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've already backed it, so I'm sold already.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's all I'm saying. Like, or like Legend of Mana. Like, I mean, dude, I'm serious. Like,
wow,
it feels like that. It just feels like that. Like, okay, you are straight up going into spots, and like when you arrive on the board, you go inside, you take pieces off, and you lift the cover off as if you're going into the thing. Dude, you go over spots, you put things on it, it changes the whole design. They even figured out this cool way to represent upstairs and downstairs. It like when you can do that and not make like big miniatures and stuff like that. That shit right there, like when you make like a basement hall and like.
All right, well then what's the setup time? That's the big thing.
You know what? The setup time wasn't even that bad either, because it's got the top world thing where it's just like it's kind of like a thicker cardboard, and it's got like little punch things. So you punch the little thing in there, and it'll say what land it is. I don't know what that's going to look like in the final product. Like, are they going to have several of those? What is that overworld? 2 of those or whatever. But he bakes these things in the oven for a while, and he's had some personal things going on. So I know that he had a major personal thing with his family. If you've been following the Kickstarter and stuff, you would know. But I mean, come on, Zaya. It took forever for that thing to come, but it paid off. Okay. So we have no reason to doubt it. And I played the prototype. I know it's fantastic. I put my rep on that one. That game, I cannot wait for that game. I cannot wait for that game. Yeah, that one, Link to the Past, man. That was like the first thing I thought when I was playing it. And then I was like Mana, the Legacy of Mana, was it Legacy of Mana or Legend of Mana? Like that.
Like the Super Nintendo game?
Yeah.
The Secret of Mana?
Yeah, Secret of Mana.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
That's good. I have it over there, actually.
Yep.
Hey, you guys want to play a game? Should we play? Or is it too late?
What do we got? Oh man, you know what, dude? I gotta get, man. Holy.
Yeah, it's late.
We've gone a little longer than.
A little longer.
I think we could skip the playing games. We'll just have him back on some other time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, we already said what's the next show we're doing? Jeremy mentioned it.
Hey man,
does it play well with 2 players?
No, the box cover one.
Oh, the box cover one.
Oh man, that would be great. I would come on for that one because I love to talk about box covers. I don't know why I do, but
I am writing this down for a future episode.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I'm down for that, man.
Cool.
You can get me talking. We're on a podcast. We talk for 5 hours, for God's sakes. You can't let me do it.
I know, but that's what we do. Our show sometimes stretches 3 hours because that's what we do. We get.
I don't think you understand. We have a podcast where people can rant for 1 hour, and they have the floor. If it makes sense, at some point they have the floor.
So now we got to get Chris ranting for an hour.
What's that?
We got to get Chris ranting for an hour.
No, you've heard all my rants. That's the problem with having past episodes. Is I can't just rant again. It's already been there, right? I don't have any new rants.
We should just call the Wednesday podcast the filibuster, the podcast. It's so true. And then when the person is done, there's such dead silence that you're like, did we achieve anything? Like, can I get my hour of my life back? What happened?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's nice right there.
Yeah.
5 minutes with Jeremy Howard is just as good as 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh man, thank you, sir. I really
Well, it's been. We're really, really glad you could make it.
Yeah.
Oh no. Thank you for having me on. I always run long, so thank you so much.
So do we.
This is not near the longest we've gone, so we're good.
Okay, good.
We're still in our range.
I think 4 hours is our last.
Wasn't that the episode with Peter? It was 4 hours?
Yeah, Peter Vaughn. Yeah.
Really, really.
I can go hard. Well, if you had Peter on, we wouldn't be off of here. I'll tell you right now.
He's in the chat.
I just happened to look down at my phone time because it said 15%, and I was like, "Oh, whoa, it's 10:40." So
But it's okay. We can, we'll save gaming for the next time you come on and do box cover fun stuff.
Oh yeah,
sure.
I'm down for that anytime. Any games? I got plenty of games to talk about. Well, can I get my little bit of promo before I head out?
Yeah, where can people find you?
Yeah, I had a question for you before you went too. So go ahead.
Well, what you got? What you got?
No, I'm sure we have all the links of like how people can find you, but where will you be next?
Oh, okay. So I'm going down to MVM Studios this weekend. We're going to be filming some other stuff, but we got a couple things on the way. We got our top 10 video, which is coming. That's why I'm shooting these folders right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's the best content we've ever filmed because we were so tired because we filmed all this stuff in one weekend. So, you're talking about 4 top 50s, and we're switching up partners. We didn't tell anybody what games we had.
Oh.
So it was a full surprise.
Nice.
So like people are like, I'm like, no, this is truly organic because nobody knew anybody's games.
Wow.
And so we were dead tired, but we were like ready for it, and it just came out. It all came out. We had a good one. And Emily has a number 6 that nobody can guess. Nobody. No question. Not at all. So much so that we're doing a giveaway in the Discord. If people can figure it out.
If people can guess it. Interesting.
Yeah, I think a handful of people have finally figured out, but you're talking like hundreds of guesses. But then we have, I'm working on a Perseverance review. Perseverance episodes 1 and 2, which is a very big game because I'm kind of reviewing bigger games for the channel, like big, lot more time consuming games. Hoplomachus Victorum, which is a solo game. I'm recording that in a four-headed Hydra review with Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, Alex from Board Game Co., and Michael Kelly from One Stop Co-op Shop. So we'll be attacking that together. Nice. And just a whole bunch of other stuff. We have Essen coverage, post-Gen Con coverage. We stay into that stuff, stay into the new hotness stuff, but we're definitely going to hit that hard Euro season, so you'll be seeing a lot of other things coming from us. I have Revive on the way. Revive is going to be a big Euro at Essen.
Ooh.
Very, very, very excited. Oh! Ah!
Are you going to Essen?
Yes!
Nice.
Oh, fun.
That's why you're very excited.
Essen, dude. First Essen.
Nice, cool.
Nice.
I'm not gonna wear something crazy and be a fish out of water and get arrested. I'm gonna go, do my con thing, and I'm gonna go home. I won't soak it up this much this time. This time I want to stay close to the vest, stay in the convention, do my thing. Next time I'll try to schedule some days, front end, back end, maybe go see another country while I'm there and stuff. But like this time I'm gonna be a fish out of water, so I'm definitely sticking to the con activities.
There you go.
Peter, I'll see you at Essen.
Peter.
Yeah.
Nice. And then are you going to be at PAX U?
So PAX is going to be iffy. PAX is going to be iffy for me. If I do go, it'll be like Saturday, Sunday. Just because I try not to take as much time off. I work for the Gov, so I try not to take all the time off if I can help it. But since I want to go to Gamma, I might not go to PAX U.
Gotcha.
Yeah, might not go to PAX U. But who knows? I always end up going.
It's great.
I always end up going anyway.
Yep.
Very cool. Did you have another question, Mike?
No, that was where.
That's what it was. Okay, good.
That was such a nice segue. It's like where are you going to be, and then talk about you talked about your videos and very nicely.
Lots going on. Really excited, man. I'm really excited.
All right. If you have any links to share with us, I'll put them in the description after the show here. And as always, we run over to our Discord and talk and stuff. You're welcome to come, Jeremy, but I know it's late. And we hang out there for a little bit in case some of our watchers want to talk to us. So.
Send me an invite. I'm in.
Awesome. Cool. And if this is your first time watching, the link to our Discord is in the description as well. So anything else that I forgot about? Oh, that's what I forgot.
The like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
You gotta ask, otherwise they won't, baby.
Need it. I know. Please do it.
Yeah. And then, I'm sure we'll have surprises for next week.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
thanks, everybody.
For hanging out. Jeremy, it was awesome. Thanks for taking the time, man.
Oh,
yes.
man.
Thank you so much for coming.
Busy. So thank you so much for letting me take a break away from this. I need it. Honestly, I do. I really needed it.
I do have a question. It's the end of the show. I'm just not sponsoring or anything. I'm just curious. What kind of scotch?
Oh, this tonight it is Belvani 14 in the Caribbean casks. I love the Caribbean casks. I bought it for my birthday, which I just had recently. It's just one of my favorites. Now, Lagavulin, that's my favorite. 16 is my preferred, or I'll do Oban. So yeah, those are kind of my favorite three right there.
Nice. Yeah, Lagavulin's good.
I'm laughing because when Mike said, I do have a question, I was so tempted to end the broadcast right there. Well, I'm glad
I did. Yeah, and I would have respected it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I still would have got my question in. It just wouldn't have been on the show.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. See you soon.